out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game. 5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes. Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnop.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vine, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big dog sports talk, lighten up the dark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint.
Hey, good morning. How are you? Good to see you.
The stories unfold.
Hope everybody's doing okay wherever you might be.
Play, worth its weight in gold.
Hit us up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat room. We'd love to hear from you on the Professional Door Incorporated text line at 540-391-0788.
Games begin.
Let the games begin indeed.
Feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders.
Hit me up. Many of you have already on everything that's going on. Obviously, with the Virginia Tech hiring of James Franklin, which yesterday we alluded to. Information I'd gotten Sunday evening about that Monday was going to be the action day. That indeed turned out to be the case. My source impeccable as always. And now we've come full circle from the October 20th prediction, where I have just reposted on Facebook to remind people, and seen some of the comments when I predicted James Franklin back then, almost a month ago, and people telling me I was off my rocker. But anyway, there you go. Congratulations, Hokie Nation. And you know what? You deserve it, Tech fan. You deserve time to celebrate. Let's give you a nice shout. There we go. We're not going to bring anybody down today, and we'll have plenty of time to break all this down. The press conference is today at 10. They're going to win the press conference, right? That's going to happen. Franklin said in a prepared statement, nothing earth-shattering here. It's pretty par for the course, but he said, "I'm honored and humbled to join the Hokie family. My vision is simple: to restore unmatched excellence, to build something that lasts, and to serve this university, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and our amazing fan base with honor, integrity, and passion. I look forward to getting to work with our players, our staff, and the entire Virginia Tech community." So we'll get into all that today. Again, at the presser, we'll find out more about, I hope people ask some good questions about staff. We'll find out the terms, the official terms of the contract. I'm sure Brent Pry will be brought up. I think he was a strong liaison to his good friend and his mentor. From the chrome dome of James Franklin to the slick cue ball one of Rick Watson here at Palm Coast. Oh, actually, I got kind of a tight cut. I know it kind of shows me. Yeah. We high ball salute you. BDST is live and online. Good morning. Good morning, Morris. We'll get your shirts out, by the way, on Wednesday, I think, Morris. So can you run through the yeah. Yeah, it was clearly a prepared, that was a textbook statement. Paul, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think you're right. I said this morning. I meant Wednesday morning. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm already thinking Wednesday because I'm traveling all day to go to Radford basketball tonight at South Carolina. So, yeah, it's Wednesday morning. And then we'll find out. Like today, I'm sure there'll be some terms and so that'll come forward, and we'll find out what it all looks like. But, hey, congratulations again. This is it's being celebrated. It's getting widely praised from college football pundits. This has been the direction this thing has gone, which we've told you about now for almost a month. ESPN finally caught up with it on Saturday. They'll probably try to take credit for it. Oh, I'm sure. No, probably. They will take credit for it. We told you Sexton had leaked that to them. And Tech, to their credit, got it done. And they also allowed Jimmy Sexton and James Franklin some latitude, some time, but then it became a little too much time, and Tech started to apply some pressure. Look, we need an answer, and they got their answer. So I think in terms of where the program has been, this is a really strong statement about where they expect to go. Obviously, the money that has been added to the whole thing has played a major part. Without that, you don't probably even get an opportunity to sniff around a coach who's used to making a lot of money that has the high name and success rate of James Franklin. So kudos to everybody involved in that, and we'll see how it looks going forward. I think the staff is going to be very important, and we'll get your take on all that. And I'm interested to see who his coordinators are going to be, and we'll find out what kind of football program we're going to have here. What you're going to see immediately is a flipping of the talent. He's an excellent recruiter. This whole similar recruiting base, which we've talked about a lot and many of our pundits have talked about, is something he's very comfortable with. He's kind of dominated that, taking kids out of Virginia to Happy Valley, and now he'll keep them here in Blacksburg. So the key is going to be how he fishes his quarterback out of the portal. Who's it going to be? And that's the one thing he never really got right at Penn State. He had some good quarterbacks, but he needs to find one, and that's going to be big. That's going to be big. So hit me up in chat. Hit me up on the text line. Brought to you by Professional Door. Good morning, Opal. How are you? Good morning, everybody. Hokie Rocks, Paul, Joseph, what's going on? Prometheus. Everybody in chat. Reggie, how are you? Good morning. So what are you feeling, huh? You excited? You should be. You should be. I go back to what many of the people have, looked at this when we've been discussing. I'm just glad it's over. It became ad nauseum at this point. I got a little nervous yesterday because the day kept going on. Because I basically yesterday guaranteed we'd find out something and likely it was going to happen. And then it got to be for 3:30, and I'm like, ugh. And then around 4 o'clock, it just happened. So there you go. There you go. But I think it'll be a good fit. I think he's going to be motivated. You want to have a James Franklin who's got a chip on his shoulder after what happened at Penn State. We may never know exactly why they pulled the trigger when they did. You can assume a lot of things. But I'm interested to see how the staff's going to look. I mean, if he's going to bring guys, that are already there at Penn State. That's going to be interesting to see how he puts this thing together. A lot of people have asked. I have no idea what his interest might be in current members of the staff. I don't know. You would hope Jarrett Ferguson would get a look. I think he's doing a great job as a strength conditioning coach. He probably needs somebody around, that knows the lay of the land a little bit. I don't know about, guys who are there on the staff. I just don't know. But he'll assess it and he'll make the decisions that's going to get him set up as best as he can to have success from year one. I mean, he's got to build back the talent level. He doesn't have to worry about developing his own coaching style. He doesn't have to worry about all that. He's already got his own MO. He's done it now at 2 places. And, he built Vanderbilt into a strong program, and he did a great job also getting Penn State when Bill O'Brien kind of got him out of the whole Sandusky thing, and then he took him to another level, and then, last year had him in the playoffs. So it's going to be very interesting to see how quickly, and I think it can happen pretty quickly, given the ACC, given Tech's schedules. I mean, they got a shot here to bounce back on this thing pretty quickly. And I won't make any grand prediction about being in the playoff or anything like that, but I mean, you can expect winning seasons, I think, immediately, and the product on the field to look a lot better. You're going to have a lot of money come in. I think this is going to really rejuvenate the boosters and get people fired up. Merch is going to sell. Tech will become more of a talking point again nationally. So from a marketing perspective, it's also a home run. This is going to get the brand out there more, where it's just kind of been overlooked now for about the last 8 years. So we said Tech had to have a home run hire. On paper, this is a home run hire. It's different, and I don't want people to try to say I'm comparing it, because I'm not. But Justin Fuente was a home run hire at the time. Everybody had similar reaction to what we're seeing now. Not nearly as accomplished as a head coach at a high level as James Franklin, who's been, in the SEC and the Big Ten. And that's the one thing, as I thought about this yesterday evening. I mean, he's already been in the sausage grinder of those 2 conferences, right? He's already been in the sausage grinder, man. He's been in the SEC. He's been in the Big Ten. So now he comes to the ACC, a league that is, well, as we're watching this year, is up for grabs. You don't know from one week to the next if the top dog in that league is going to come through. How are they going to look? So this is what Virginia Tech needed. And, it goes back to what I've said here since the search began. And I told you early on, Bud Foster, Bruce Arians were not going to let Virginia Tech not have a good coaching hire. I never worried about it. Never. I know a lot of people did, and I understand. But I just never worried about it. Even if it wouldn't have been Franklin, they would have had somebody in here good. But I know there's a lot of immense personal respect that Franklin has for Bud Foster. And I think that had a lot to do with this as well. So hit us up. Everybody excited, I understand. And you should be. I mean, Tech fan is some of the best fans in college football. You've put up with a lot. You sell out games against Wofford at 11. You've been supporting this team. You've been supporting all these things. And so you deserve to have your victory laps right now and enjoy it. Enjoy it. And it'll be fun to watch how things are developed when staff is officially announced and recruiting. That's going to happen, I think, immediately. Phil Amatian said yesterday he felt like, you watch and see that's going to be the telltale sign. I don't know how many guys from Penn State. Who knows? People are going to speculate on all that. I'm not going to get caught up in that. When the news comes, we'll know. But the press conference tomorrow will be very interesting, and he'll be here, and Jimmy Sexton will be here, and there'll be a lot of good questions that are asked. We'll see how presser is tomorrow at 10, so I don't know. We're supposed to have Teal on tomorrow, but he might be preparing for that. I don't know. I'll let you know. We'll keep you updated on everything that's going on with that. But, hey, Christopher, good morning. How are you? How are you? Thank you, TP. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, you did. A lot of people have asked, how did you know in October? I didn't really know in October. I just knew that was the first place that they really wanted to go. That was the first place they really wanted to go. And I knew that that was the kind of name they really wanted, was James Franklin, a guy who had a name. They couldn't go back and hire another a Brent Pry. They couldn't go do that again. So they felt some pressure. Doubt they'll admit that, but I think there was some internal pressure to get a guy like this. So that's why I made the prediction on October 20th. Now, to be fair to the process, about a week and a half ago, and they were doing, I don't know, it won't be reported like it should, but they were out doing their due diligence on other jobs. They were sending Jimmy Sexton out to inquire and just kind of feel around. His clients are at a lot of these other places, but that's how the business works. And I think he really would have been interested in some other opportunities if it had presented itself, but they did not. And I believe all those opportunities expired heading into the weekend and then throughout the weekend, which is why it was leaked by Sexton to Thamel, and that's why they had it on game day that, okay, well, this is where he's going to end up now in Virginia Tech. No, I will not be at the presser. I have a full-time job. Plus, I'll be getting in at 2:30 a.m. this morning, coming up this morning on Wednesday morning. I hope I'm able to do the show on Wednesday, but no, I will not be at the press conference. Don't think my employer would be real pleased if I was heading over there to do the press conference. It's going to be jam-packed. There's going to be plenty of people in there to ask questions at the press conference. They don't need one more, but I need a plus one. Maybe I can get you a press pass, TP. Maybe I can get you in there. But right now on the surface, there's no negatives here. Won't try to force feed any potential negatives to spoil everybody's glory today. This is a day for Tech fans to enjoy and have your time to go take a deep breath and, man, we've suffered a lot. We've suffered a lot. And it shows you, too, how seriously that Bruce and Bud were leading this thing. And those are the two that got this done. This is not any kind of inflammatory comments about the rest of the committee, but it was those two that got this done. They were the ones out. I told you early on, I'd gotten word that immediately that they were being received by everyone. In other words, when Bruce Arians and Bud Foster want to give you a call, your phone's going to get answered. And I was like, okay, well, this is going to be just fine in the long run. And it has been, and it will be. It will be. So, well, I don't think so, Joseph. See, this is a unique situation for Tech, which is why it was very important to close on Franklin. You can't get deals done really early when a lot of these deals are tied into coaches who are currently with other teams. I'm sure everybody here saw what's going on in Mississippi. I mean, Lane Kiffin may have coached his last game at Mississippi. You know, I think what Mississippi has done is what we're going to start seeing. Once word got out that Lane Kiffin had sent his family to Gainesville and Baton Rouge over the weekend, they got a little pissed off. And they gave him an ultimatum. Either you commit to us right now or you're not coaching another game. Keep an eye on that. So, no, you won't have a lot of early hires like this. This was just unique, right? This was a guy who was at a Power 4 program. He got fired. Still strange about all that to me. So I feel you, TLB 2732. But I'm not here to be a downer on anybody today. But no, this was unique because he was available. So you could openly engage with Sexton and talk about things and all this. All right. So you can't really do that as much with coaches who are coaching other teams. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why. Good morning, Rodney. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Please subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends. I mean, we gave you this info about a month ago. We're not ESPN Game Day, but we had it for you here. And now that it's happened, you're welcome, America. But Yeah, action day indeed, huh? Yesterday was the action day, as we talked about Monday morning, and then it happened yesterday afternoon. So there you go. And like I said, it's the perfect storm for Tech. Brian Seigla is going to join us around 7:15 from the Boundary Corner, and we'll break all this down. Mike Burnop, he can talk about it now since it's official. There's been a release. Couldn't talk about it until, in other words, if it would have just gone today that it had been reported and then no release, he would have been stuck. But now we can talk about it and what it means, and we'll get his thoughts on what it means for the future. You know, Mike's been doing this 43 years. He hasn't seen a whole lot of coaches because, you know, Frank Beamer was there for a long time, but he's seen enough of them, played for enough of them, and he saw the last two, and we'll get his take on all that. Marva joins us as well. And David Smith, and I know he wants to chime in on all that too. So there you go. Hokie Rocks. Action yesterday, reaction today, satisfaction tomorrow. That's good. I like that, Hokie Rocks. And he will win the presser. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. He knows how to handle the media. He knows how to engage in a camera, and that's not a bad thing. He's just very media savvy. That's why TV was it was still kind of sitting there. I believe. That's why, you know, he went on ESPN. I think he was trying just to fill that out a little bit when he went on Game Day. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Yeah, but David, yeah, if Pry ends up being part of the staff, we'll have to apologize to David and sort of let. That's right, because he brought up that crazy scenario a few weeks ago. We will. Absolutely, we will. We give the proper people their props, unlike many other outlets. We want to thank the Ready Set Fund, Bob Chris, ReadySetFund.com. Tech won't need the Ready Set Fund with all the donations they're going to get now. Floyd County Girls softball team used the Ready Set Fund. It's just text messages. They're already pre-prepared, and they raised $4,000 in a week. Reach out to Bob, BOBCRIST11@gmail.com. Professional Door Incorporated, Travis Williams, commercial garage doors, family owned and operated, 38 years in business, right across from New River Community College, sponsor of our text line. They're looking for workers, quality workers. They will train you. Go see Travis, walk in. You don't have to call. You can call if you want, but just walk in and tell him you heard us talking about it and you want to talk to him about his business. He and I have been talking a lot the last several days. And he's excited about the future, and he's excited about what's going on in college football. Thanks to National Bank, member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner, BDST. They've been my personal bank for 35 years. And we already have our BDST fan question of the week brought to you by the attorney Ryan Price, 701 West Main Street in Radford. I give this to one of our texters, by the way. I wasn't sure who it was. Great idea yesterday evening after the announcement, but now that James Franklin is in place, what is Virginia Tech's record in 2026? And you send your answers to the text line sponsored by Professional Door, 391-0788. What will be Tech's record, or how many wins, however you want to do it? We're presented every day by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Jonathan Sweet, thank you so much for joining us yesterday, the director. How good's that guy? People were saying, Jonathan Sweet makes me feel bad about myself when I see that guy. You got to see him in person, man. The dude looks like, remember Lou Ferrigno in The Incredible Hulk? The guy is just put together, man. Jeez Louise. Mark Hunley, McClellan Chiropractic, thank you so much for everything. Go see Mark. I think there were some people that some of our watchers that were over there yesterday getting popped, and they were like, the news came. Is this real? So go see Mark off of Peppers Ferry Road. He knows every in and out of chiropractic. And Jason Green and Family Fencing Studios here, 540-200-8294 at familyfencingnrv.com. They will go through the wintertime, man. It doesn't bother them at all. No dig installation system. You're not using your yard in the winter. It's the best time to get the thing serviced. Let them come and assess what you need. Thanks to James Lawson, 540-381-8011, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg, in the NRV Super Bowl at 540-382-5525. They've been serving the community 25 years. Maybe we can go and we can take James Franklin bowling at the NRV Super Bowl. What do you think? Yeah, still, man, I'm not going to bring any of the negative stuff up today, Chris. I know this is the guy that Tech fan wants. They're excited. They're very excited. There are some concerns that I have, and it goes back to the same thing. It doesn't change. Penn State was very quick to cut ties with a guy who had the success that he had, that had him in the semifinals last year. And I know relationships sour and more people get hired in administration, but, you know, I don't think that question has been asked enough. But for Tech and the way their fans are reacting, I'm very happy for them. Very happy for them. Right? They're celebrating, and they deserve to celebrate. They've been through a lot, and they've been very loyal. They've been dragged through what turned out to be a very bad coaching hire. And now, then Justin Fuente, and then a hire that never should have been made that still makes no sense to this day. It's not retrospectively. We talked about it when it happened on the old radio show. And now this one, hey, you know what? Enjoy it. It's the highest profile coach Tech has had since, of course, you know, what was that guy's name? The Hall of Famer? So, yeah, you should be excited. Absolutely, 100%. And everybody over there should be commended. The committee, Bruce and Bud. I think even Whit Babcock was instrumental in making sure all the numbers and everything lined up. I mean, you let go of a coach in week number 3, it kind of felt like time was getting away from you. And I think there was some concern that maybe you'd wasted that time, right? Like, wow, you let go of your coach in week 3, then you still don't have one in place. Did you let all that time elapse so you could have had these big advantages? But they were very focused on who they wanted, and they got him. So no, that not going to come on today and present any negativity toward Tech fan, because you deserve to be thrilled about this. It's going to do so many things in other areas as well, right? It's going to be the same thing in other areas. And we'll see if Penn State made a big mistake. I think the initial thing Penn State has learned, they didn't have any plan to have anybody in place. Or maybe they did and we don't know about it. But it really felt like that new AD, who was good friends with Matt Rule, thought Matt Rule was going to be able to slide in there. And I think that got shot down pretty quickly. I think his buddy called. I think the new AD called Matt Rule and said, yeah, they're not going to let this happen. And then you notice Matt Rule announced his Nebraska extension. Yeah, Hokie Rocks, I think there was some of that. He says, I think he was fired because, like the SEC, the Big Ten has gotten so power hungry, no room for error. But I think this was more of a personal thing. He just had him in the semifinals the year before. So it still makes no sense to me, but we'll probably never know. But as, you know, Phil Omasian said, something happened on the plane ride back from UCLA. Something happened the week of the Northwestern game, because I believe it was the following Sunday that he was let go. So we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. And I'm interested to see what he has to say tomorrow. That'll be live streamed, by the way. Tech's going to live stream it. I'm sure you can find that on YouTube. It's going to be everywhere. Yeah, I would too, Joseph. He won't answer it probably the way that you would want, but just ask the question. And you can word it in a way to where it's not offensive. Were you surprised at how Penn State reacted to a couple of losses after all the success that you had when they decided to let you go? You could ask it that way. You don't have to, you can something of that nature and see what kind of response that you get. It's going to be about looking forward for him tomorrow, though, as it should be. It's not going to be about worrying about what happened in the past. It's all in the past, So I think you're going to start seeing immediate reports of recruits that are interested, that want to talk, that may decide to come. I'm going to be very curious to see what the recruiting portal budget looks like now that they have some money. I believe I saw a report that he was guaranteed that they're going to have top 3 NIL available funds to go out and piece together your roster in places that you need that experience. So I'm sure that was an attraction to him as well. What's the old saying? Put your money where your mouth is, right? And Tech seems to be doing that. Of course, with this, and the way and as we talked about as well, with the way the contract they had at Penn State was worded, that buyout has decreased a whole lot. And I mean a heck of a whole lot for them, as he was owed just over $49 million. And now the settlement is $9 million for Penn State. So they take advantage of this too. I was a little surprised that they're still paying that much, but it is what it is. But Penn State kind of wins out on that a little bit as well. So there you go. And that $229 million that the BOV approved is going to come in handy now. So I think it's a terrific splash hire for Tech at the right time when they needed it. And that's the key to all this. When do you need these hires to happen, right? Tech needed it more than anyone. And we're already getting a ton of keep sending them. We're already, Ryan Pry, the attorney, you're already getting a lot of answers about Tech's record next year. So this is good. Send it to our text line, brought to you by Professional Door, 391-0788. Right? Let's go. Good stuff. Good stuff all the way around. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that too, Dino Kid. It's 16, 17 decommits, something like that. Is what I've seen. And who knows what that might mean for Tech? I mean, who knows? Not sure what that might mean. But we shall see. Not even including potential, Penn State folks. I mean, he's gonna find talent. He's gonna find talent, and that's what he does better than anything. He is a heck of a recruiter, and that's why I'm curious to see what the announcement of the staff is going to look like. Very, very interested. Very, very interested. I think that will be big. Very, very big. So we'll see. The schedule next year is not daunting at all. And again, this had to play into it for Franklin. I'm sorry, but the ACC is just not the Big Ten or the SEC. It's a different thing. And that's why I believe the turnaround can be very, very quick. I mean, all I know is this, and I tried to answer people like this, because some people are kind of like, wow, people are expecting this to be an immediate. Did anybody expect Curt Cignetti to go 22-2 at Indiana and have them in the playoff and now have them number 2 in the country? I'm just saying, if you get the right vibe, the right coach at the right time. Now, he was a rising guy. Cignetti was a rising guy, even though he was an older coach. As a matter of fact, some people might have thought that he was too old. But Franklin is coming off what should have been a very humbling thing, right? He's at one of the blue bloods of college football. And he's let go a year after having you in the semifinals. I'm sure he down deep knows the reasons, obviously. People up there know the reasons. It feels like more of a relationship thing. There's been a lot made already about big games. Tech better not play top 10 teams, or they're going to be in the same boat they were, and he did have a knock for not winning those games. But he still has won 68% of his games as a head coach. That's pretty damn good. In this day and age of college football, that's pretty strong, especially to be in the SEC and the Big Ten. So I won't say that it's overdone, his record in big games, because it's not good. And that's another part of the counter thing when you're a little wary about all this. But how many games like that are ACC teams in within the conference as opposed to non-conference? The Big Ten and the SEC have a lot of these ranked teams right there in their league. The ACC is not going to have that year in and year out thing going on for them. And it had to be another attractive thing for him. So the presser tomorrow, there'll be more celebrations today, more written, probably be some more leaks about the staff today and numbers and things of that nature. So there you go. They didn't knock Frank for his big game record. They did toward the end. I noticed that kind of happened toward the last few years, Chris. He did not have a strong big game record either. But so much had been accomplished. Certain things don't need to always come out. And we'll see. We'll see how all that transfers over and what kind of big games Tech ends up playing in, right? SWVA to Texas. It's been noted that many of those big losses were Ohio State and Michigan. Few coaches have records against those programs, which is good. I guess we'll see. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. Same thing you can say about SEC coaches. And I think that's where Penn State's mind is, though, right? They compare themselves directly to Ohio State and Michigan. So if he's not winning those games, therefore it has more of a detrimental toll on his reputation up there because they look at themselves. There's a trio of schools that make up Big Ten football in the upper echelon, just like I think there is in the SEC. And it's Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. And he did not do well against those. And it does take on more meaning. But to your point, that's factual. What you said is right. What you said is correct. And I'm trying to think, is there anybody that Virginia Tech needs to compare itself to in the ACC? I mean, Clemson, when it was in the playoff every year, see what I'm saying? He can sculpt out an identity now, and you can come in quickly and up the talent level here and become that program again. I mean, Tech has been that program already in the ACC. Right? It's not like it's not happened before. So they can be that again. Miami is whatever Miami is. Florida State might be firing their coach soon. Georgia Tech's having a great year. They nearly lost at BC. Virginia lost 2 weeks ago. Having a great year. Does anybody think Virginia is going to maintain this for any length of time? I mean, that's why we kept saying this is an attractive league, man. That's why I think if Florida State comes open, people are going to be falling all over themselves. So it's right there for Virginia Tech to rise quickly in the conference. I mean, Louisville is solid. North Carolina's down. North Carolina State is down. Duke is better. Who am I leaving out? Georgia Tech's having a great year. They lose Haynes King, though. Are they going to keep their coach? So, I mean, the landscape is right there. Miami's always going to be hyped. Phil Mation said it right yesterday. Take the U off the helmet. Nobody would be talking about Miami. So it's right there for them. Their brand is right there. Thanks for the text message. This is great. That's our attorney Ryan Pry question of the week. the one-loss record. I'm going to save them. I'm getting a bunch of them. And we'll total them up, and we'll have them for you on Friday. Thanks so much, everybody. Please subscribe, like, and share our channel. We're at 720 plus. Please tell people it's free. Remind them. If you're a subscriber, if you just know one person who might be a sports fan, just show them how easy it is. If they have YouTube, it doesn't cost a dime. And go do that. That would be great. That would be great. And our T-shirts are being gobbled up. It's good. Thank you so much. If I can get them to you here, it's 20. It's 28 to ship them to you. And I can get a couple, 3 T-shirts in a package, I think, and still be 20 and still just be $8. So if you want a shirt, DM me on the Professional Door text line or text me there, or just DM the show, Big Dog Sports Talk on Facebook, or Rick Watson, and we'll get you set up. And again, those of you who locally that have already paid, we're going to get you those things here soon. I got to get back from South Carolina early in the morning. The question of the week should be how long it will take fans to sour Franklin. If they go on any kind of extended losing streak, this is the way it always happens. This is going to be madly celebrated, joy all around. And then if losses start to build up, then immediately the natives will get restless. That's just the way it is everywhere, all over the country. That was funny. Good job, TLB. You're right. And that's just human nature, right? But right now, Tech's coming out of the fire. Tech fan is coming out of the fire, and they have every right to feel good about things. So, watch recruiting. It's going to turn over immediately. You won't have to worry about it anymore. You won't have to be fretting about in-state kids as much. I'm not saying he's going to get all of them, but he's going to assess the talent level. He already has a pipeline developed. And it's what he does best. It's what he does best. And I'm interested in see what the staff's going to look like. Paul says, is this the man who ruined the buffet at the Aero Club, the man who disarmed a police vehicle with a single banana? We're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. David says, it's like one of the prettiest girls said yes to you for the homecoming dance. Now let's wait and see how the dance actually goes. Right. You don't want her to say yes because she's trying to make another dude jealous. Right? Good analogy, David. You get her to the dance, and she starts wondering, looking over your shoulder as you're dancing. Where is he? Oh, he's with her, isn't he? And then later on, you're like ready to go, and she's not there anymore. She's gone. Well, you don't want this to be a 2 or 3 year dance, and then he's gone, right? We'll see. We'll see. Brian Seigla joins us a little later right now. There she is. It's Marva in Miami. Good morning, Marva in Miami.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, Rick?
I am doing all right. Doing all right. You know,
good.
The thing we talked about on October 20th came true yesterday. Virginia Tech has a new football coach. What's your thoughts on the Tech hiring?
I think it's great. I think it's exciting for the ACC. I mean, I know this year obviously didn't go the way that James Franklin wanted it to do, but I mean, think of what he was able to accomplish, though. He did rack up a lot of wins. I mean, I know there was a knock on him. He couldn't win, big games, but still he was consistently winning games. And I think he will do the same in the ACC, where the competition will be, somewhat less. And
much worse.
I'm trying to be nice here. I think he will do a great job. And I think it's a wonderful hire for Tech, and it's good for the ACC.
It is, isn't it? That's a great point. I mean, it does uplift the profile of the league tremendously from a head coaching perspective. I mean, you look at the coaches in the league. I mean, who's got the names right now? Dabo Swinney. I'm not sure whether I'm considered that guy or not down here at your territory. I guess Bill Belichick, clearly. Who else? I mean, you're right. He immediately comes in as one of the top personalities and faces of the conference as a head coach. Absolutely.
Right. And I mean, he ran a clean program. You don't have to worry about anything like that. So
Did he? We think, we hope.
we hope.
Clean as it can be in today's major college football.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I can't think of any, major scandal, right?
No, just whatever happened internally. No, you never heard anything. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you never heard anything.
And I mean,
like
if
that.
it was something big, we would have heard about it, right? So
yeah, yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'm not going to besmirch this guy's character. I don't know. I mean, let's
Would
see.
Would you rather have James Franklin in North Carolina than Bill Belichick? Yes, you would.
No comment. I'm still trying to let this thing marinate. And I have to tell you a funny story about Carolina. So on Saturday, my daughter had a 4-H meeting right at the same time as the game. But still, mom first. I took her to the meeting, and I get a text during the meeting, and someone just says tar. And so as Carolina fans, you have to respond, heels. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we are beating Wake. I'm so excited. I get home and I start watching the game. And I'm like, what was that about? It was like, I mean,
I think they led at one time early. Didn't they have an early lead maybe or something?
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, maybe it was 3-0. I don't know. I actually don't think they led. But anyway, it was bad. I mean, Carolina couldn't score a touchdown. I mean, the highlight, as I was getting ready to come on the show, I was looking at my notes. Like, the highlight was that Carolina had a 57-yard field goal right before halftime. That was the highlight.
That was the highlight.
Yes, and then Carolina had 4 other field goals throughout the course of the game, and it's just bad. It was very bad. Offense couldn't do anything. It was bad. Okay, and they were showing the fans, and they were all amped up, and they had Wake's coach, and he was like, everybody's saying you got to beat Carolina, and that also reminded me of something like when I first got out of school. My very first job was in Winston-Salem. And so I was working at a station there in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Yep. And I mean, obviously I knew about Wake Forest. Yes. I mean, I grew up an ACC fan. I knew about them, but I didn't realize that they thought Carolina was a big rival. Like,
oh yeah,
sure. People didn't think that. So I didn't realize it. And oh my goodness. Yes, there was a lot of Carolina hate there in Winston-Salem that I just was unaware of. Okay. So it took some getting used to, but very nice people there. I enjoyed my time there in Winston-Salem, but I just was not prepared. I did not know.
Their NC State's rival, but it's more NC State. But yeah, Carolina's still going to be. You're right there in the same state. All 4 of those schools.
Yeah.
Tobacco Road,
I know, but I just, being where I grew up, right outside of the Triangle area, I'm used to the rivalries with NC State and Duke. I never thought of Wake Forest as Wake Forest was another team in the conference. I didn't really think of them as, oh gosh, we got to beat Wake Forest. And so I was not ready for that. I had not experienced that. So it was interesting for me to get to live there for a couple of years and see that. And it was definitely on display on Saturday. It was, I mean, they were very excited about this, beating Carolina. It's like, oh yeah, okay, great. But yes, 28-12, bad for UNC. Again, could not score a touchdown. Could not.
So what's going on over here? Is that your house? Was that your kid?
Oh yes. So
I thought that was Balboa. I'm like, what's going on?
No. So here's what happened. So we talked last week about how I lost my cat, 19 years old.
I know.
And a few days before she passed, actually she passed on Friday. On Monday, we go to the vet and to pick up the older cat, because remember we had been out of town. They do boarding there. Pick up the older cat, and they said, "Oh, somebody left a kitten here. They abandoned this kitten."
Yeah.
And I was not there. My husband and my daughter were there, and then my husband sends me a picture of my daughter holding the kitten. Like, can we get her, please? And so I had to say yes. So we do have a kitten. She is in a bedroom right now because she's just very frantic and she can't just be out.
I think we'd like to meet her. I think you should bring her out. Come on.
No, my gosh, no. Maybe when she gets a little more calmed down, okay? And so she's in there and she hears me talking, and so she wants me to come let her out, which I'm not going to do right now. And so that's what you're hearing. I didn't realize she was that loud that the mic would pick her up. But yeah,
I heard her. I thought it was mine. I was like, where's the boy?
She's very little. She's like just 9 weeks old. So yeah.
That's great.
I'll send you a picture of her though.
That's all right.
Yeah. Well, sorry about that, but she's very excited.
Are you feeling more confident that Belichick's going to stay. It feels like he's going to stay now. Like
Yeah,
all that
I
stuff.
think he's
NFL's not
locked in.
interested in him. That whole
Yeah,
thing, that whole release that he
Even
got
though
that
there was the
release.
Giants, like I don't know what that was about. I feel like he is locked in. I mean, he was facing some heat last week for after the game against Wake. He did kind of one of those blow by handshakes, and I was watching and I was like, but like that's who he is. Okay, it's nothing personal. He's like, we really stunk up this game. I just want to get to the locker room, and he did one of those little blow bys, and I mean, it's just who he is. I'm not saying it's the right way to be, but he's not like this warm, cuddly, friendly guy. That's not who he is.
If you don't smell like strawberries, he doesn't want to be around you. Jordan knew that. That's how she reeled him in.
I was so happy. I actually haven't heard about her recently.
Yeah, I know. That's been great, hasn't it?
Yes.
You think there's problems? Breaking news.
No,
Marva has just broken news.
No, I don't think there's problems. I think he just said, let's tone this thing down. Tired of hearing about it. And one of his former players, actually from the Patriots, came out recently. And I don't remember which player right now, but he said he was calling the coach a hypocrite because he's like, when we were playing for him, it was all about game, game, game. Like, don't have distractions. Game, game, game. Focus on game. Other things, these are distractions. Okay? Distractions. Don't let distractions come into play outside of football. And now that's what he's doing. And then the same player, though, at the end said, well, if coach is happy, I'm happy for him. But he just thought it was interesting how he's changed. And, as we grow up and get older, we all change, right? So maybe this is just I don't know. He's in the winter of his life, and he just wants to have a little more fun maybe than he did before. But he was very much, the guy said before, it was like, focus on the game, focus on football. Do not have distractions. And now he's all about distractions.
There you go. Thunder says maybe Wake just was excited to see Jordan on the sidelines in a headset.
I don't think Jordan might have been on the sidelines because
Thunder's right on it.
But she's not wearing a headset. Come on, guys. Come on. I don't know. I like I said, I'm just glad there haven't been any pictures released, any weird Instagram things none of us want to see. I'm thankful for that. I hope Carolina's going to be at home against Duke. Carolina needs to win 2 more games, needs to win the last 2 games to be bowl eligible. Duke and NC State. Okay. So
I don't think that's going to happen.
It could though, Rick. It could.
So you're what? You're 4-6 right now? They're 4-6?
Yes.
So you need 2 wins to become bowl eligible. Okay. Yeah. All right.
It could happen.
Could happen. Let's just say you were of the wagering kind.
And I'm not, by the way.
And you had the excessive income. Would you put any kind of money on that? To win both?
I probably wouldn't. No. But I'm really conservative with money. So I don't, but it could happen. And as a fan, I am hopeful that it will happen. And I will be watching. And, hope springs eternal, right?
David says that Bill isn't worried about getting the locker room. He's worried about where his little Pop-Tart is and what she's doing. You think they eat like strawberry Pop-Tarts and they just kind of laugh? Ha, ha, ha. This smells just like you, Jordan. Ha,
oh, my gosh. Please stop. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I haven't even had breakfast yet, but you're already making me feel like I'm going to be sick. No, we don't want to talk about this. No. In fact, we should just let's talk about basketball. I didn't text you on Tuesday. I was just so tired, and that wasn't even a late game. But Tuesday night, I was so tired. That's why I did not text you.
It's okay.
But I think, Radford has a lot, even though, of course, it was a big win for Carolina. Radford still has a lot to be, proud of. They had some players who showed up big time. And
until the weekend. And then we had a bad weekend up at the Greenbrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost 2 games.
I'm sorry.
Got to play South Carolina tonight. We're traveling to Columbia right after the show.
Oh, okay. Nice. So maybe you'll bounce back a little.
Which Carolina is it? Which Carolina, by the way? Is it Carolina Blue? Is it Carolina Garnet? Which one's really Carolina?
I'm sorry. I don't understand the question.
Well, I mean, you both say, hey, Carolina.
Okay. Everybody knows the real Carolina is North Carolina. Okay.
Okay.
And the real USC is in California. I don't know what's up with these Gamecocks people.
What's up with that? They're trying to steal everybody's stuff, aren't they?
I don't understand that.
Carolina.
What is up with them? I don't get it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I hope you guys win.
I think it's an identity crisis.
Yeah, I think it is too. It's like a little brother type thing, it's just they try, okay?
You're going to miss Trimble though.
Yes.
You guys didn't. You're going to struggle for a while against good
Well,
teams, really
it
good
was
teams.
it was a little coaching staff trying to figure out, lineups. And I really wanted you to get to see Caleb Wilson. And he just had an off night.
He's
against
not.
Rapid.
He is. He's really good.
He is very good.
Really.
And I really wanted you to see him at top form. And he just kind of had an off night. He got into foul trouble early against Radford. He did bounce back and have a really good game against North Carolina Central, as Carolina played on Friday. And he's going to be fine. But it was just, he just kind of was off. And as good as he is, he's still a freshman. He's still going to have occasional moments like that where he just, I just hated it for you because you were in the building. And, I'm trying to get in the building. I'm looking at the schedule, seeing when can I go and when can I.
It would have been great to see you there, Mark. We could have sat up there with us
Tuesday night, so that was bad for me. But I'm looking over the holidays, and it's tough, Rick. On secondary market, their tickets $300 a seat, and I want to take the whole family. So it's the school is selling tickets $50 a pop, but they're bad seats, and I want to get better seats. And it's I don't know. I might not get to see them. I might not get to be in the building this year, which makes me sad. But
I'm sure Carolina, you could get good seats for Carolina at Miami in a basketball game.
Well, I looked, and a lot of the good seats are gone. It's also another Tuesday night, and with the family stuff, Tuesday nights are really bad. I just wish it was a weekend.
Sometimes you need to make some time for yourself, Marva.
That is true. I do.
Right? You can let the kids you can get somebody to watch the kids. They have the new kitty, and you and hubby can go out and have a great night watching your.
I'd love to go see them play because you're right. They are playing on the road in Miami. It would be fun.
Yeah, you need a little time to yourself.
I want the kids to get to experience that because the last time I went to a game, went to Chapel Hill last December. They played Campbell, and just my husband and I went. The kids stayed with one of my friends, and they were like, "Oh, we want to go next time. We want to go." And so I'm trying to get all four of us in the building, which is just it's tough. If you want to provide some tickets, I will do live reporting for the team, for the show throughout the game.
I got you.
Halftime. Just let me know.
But I have to get the tickets, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. Because I'll be there working in official capacity.
I would have a better chance of probably getting you on like that. I could say, hey, we need to get some media creds for Marva.
For one of my correspondents.
Yeah, she'll be down. She'll just be in the press room, and she'll needs a place on this.
Yeah. Well, of course, then there can't be any cheering, but it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, you can't. You got to just sit there. You got to sit there like that. You got to be just like that.
I'd be a neutral observer. Yes. I can do that.
What's by the way, this time of year, so people know exactly the difference in climate, because this morning it was 30 degrees. What's your temperature right now in Miami?
When I looked this morning when I first got, it was in the 60s. It was really kind of chilly. It was in the 60s. My daughter she has to wear a uniform. Now she wore and it's a short sleeve, like a polo. Yeah. She wore a long sleeve shirt under it, so she wouldn't be, because also actually the AC in the school is really cold. So right now I'm seeing it is 63. So it's difficult, and it's going to get up though to 82 eventually.
It's difficult.
It is difficult, right? I am wearing pants. I'm not wearing shorts because again, it's a little chilly, right? It's in the 60s. So
by the way, happy belated anniversary. Great picture.
Thank
you and hubby.
Thank you.
How many years has it been?
14.
14 years. Look at you.
Yeah, very excited.
I don't need to bring any negativity in this, but my marriage ended at 14 years.
Oh my gosh. That's so rude. What is wrong with you?
So I hope your 14th goes a lot better than mine did.
Oh my goodness. That is sad. But yeah, I think we're in a good place. Now I don't know.
Morris says it's 58 in the Palm Coast and he's freezing.
Oh, yeah. Last week I was on, we didn't get to talk about the weather, and it was in the 50s. And I was cold, and I have a little space heater, which I did turn on because it was in the 50s. Okay. My husband doesn't like to turn the heat on just because it's in the 50s, because he's like, oh, it's fine. But I'm like, no, I'm cold, especially I don't like for my feet to get cold. So I turned on the space heater under my little desk, so when I'm working, my feet don't get cold. I don't like that. But now it's back in the 60s. So
I don't like that. Yeah, I'm the same way. It's weird. I don't get outside cold because when I was growing up on the farm, you had to go out and take care of the animals year round. I got used to being out. I'm like you. I hate being inside cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't. Your feet, my feet, or you just start to get it. I don't like that, but I can walk outside when and it doesn't bother me. It's weird.
Well, you would probably come out here and walk outside with shorts on in the 60s.
Oh yeah, I mean, it'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's what my son does. He doesn't like to wear pants, so he doesn't care.
I know. I've respected that about him. How much he fights back against dressy clothes since he's been, old enough to understand
dressy clothes, and he doesn't like to wear pants, period. He just likes to wear shorts every day. Every day. It's just, he doesn't care.
Well, it's great to see you. Happy anniversary. Good luck with the new kitty. What's the name of the new feline?
Well, Kitty's name that they had named her at the vet's office, Gigi, so we just kept that name. Her name is Gigi.
No, you got to do her a favor. You need something else. Come on. She's
Gigi,
too young.
No, my daughter, I wanted to change her name, honestly, but my daughter was like, no, she needs to stay Gigi, so she's not confused.
Gigi?
Like, I don't get
it's
it.
It's not even a name.
Yeah. Apparently some guy was cutting the grass. He found her and he took her to the vet, and then he didn't come back. And so they said, you guys
wow.
like
So he almost mowed over her.
Yeah, he almost mowed because she was a kitten. He almost mowed over her, and he brought her in.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
So, that's awesome.
Gigi.
I'm not surprised. Gigi. Why don't you name her Bill? Why don't you name her Jordan?
No.
It makes sense. You got Michael Jordan. You got Michael Jordan.
Yeah, yes. I'm not after. I don't even know her last name, and I don't want to know. I feel like I already know too much about this woman.
Okay, if you insist on initials, why don't you just name her MJ? Oh, that's perfect.
That would be cute. But again,
she's got to work on your daughter.
She's kind of more my daughter's cat than mine, but I find myself taking care of her a lot.
Just do the subliminal message thing. So how's MJ? I mean, what's her name? Honey, what did you call her? MJ, right? She's MJ, right? Yes, Mom.
She's Gigi. And again, I will send you a photo.
All right. Well, enjoy your week. Good luck trying to get that fifth win this weekend. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, then we can talk about, get that win against NC State. We talk about sending me to a bowl for BDST. Okay.
All right. Be sure to bundle up, for God's sakes. I don't want you to get cold.
Yeah. I have a sweater.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Give my best, everybody.
Will do. You have a great week.
All right. Be good.
Okay.
There you go. Marva in Miami. Struggling at 60, what did she say, 63? Is that what she said? 63 degrees? Yeah, boy. She's got pants on. She's cold. But I'm with her. I don't like being house cold. Outside cold, it's just the way I was raised. Inside cold, no. All right, good stuff. Brian Seigla going to come up from the boundary corner. We'll jump head first into his reaction and what he thinks about James Franklin in Blacksburg. Brandon says GG like Gio Lopez. I missed that one, Brandon. You know how big of a fan Marva is of Gio Lopez. A balmy 31 degrees just north of Little River in Floyd County. Yeah, it's 30. Hey, we're starting. It's a tropical force here. We're up at 33 here in Reiner. Tebow says James. Name the kitten James. Balmy 31. Good stuff. Good stuff. By the way, Virginia Tech has not won double-digit games since Fuente's first season in 2016. From 04 to 11, they won double-digit games each season under Frank Beamer. Wow. And since everybody's asking, this was it. Franklin was 4-21 at Penn State against AP top 10 programs. So over his 12 seasons, he led Penn State to 6 seasons of double-digit victories. Not as many as Coach Beamer. But he did have 3 straight from 22 to 24 that culminated in the semifinal of the playoff last year. And she just sent a picture of Gigi. So that's beautiful. Beautiful. That's a lustrous black cat there, Marty. Marty. That's a lustrous black cat. Beauteous. Very pretty. All right. Still think it should be MJ. That would be my take. Name it MJ. I think that would make a lot of sense. That would make a whole lot of sense. It would also make sense for you to go to Family Fencing and call and ask about, come out and quote you free. They'll talk about payment options, payment plans, 540-200-8294. Give them a call. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hundley over on Pepper Spray Road. Go see him. Sponsor of our chat room that always just blows up. They're introducing James Franklin at the hoops game against Powerhouse Bryant. Yeah, it'll be the most exciting thing. Yeah. Well, that's what I said yesterday. I mean, Mike Young put together a big home schedule early to get some wins, stack some wins. Yeah. Powerhouse Bryant. Here you go. Ryan Pry putting some reality into it. Franklin was 3-11 against top 10 teams that weren't Ohio State. Rick, you got one of those warm western airflows off of Claytor Lake that gives you those extra 2 degrees. Maybe so. Blowing in from the Carolina coast through Floyd. Rodney says, hey, Marv, if you're watching, MJ would be perfect. Get it? Ohio State, Michigan with 14 of Franklin's 36 losses at Penn State. There you go. I don't think you'll have that kind of discrepancy against ACC teams. I mean, let's think about the timing a little bit before Brian joins us here, right? I mean, Clemson is in flux. Florida State, bad. Miami, always hyped. They never deliver. Georgia Tech's having a breakthrough year. They're susceptible. Virginia's having a breakthrough year. They're susceptible. Louisville, they've lost back-to-back home games in the conference. The league literally wide open. Wide open. So you bring him in, James Franklin, you build up the talent level. I mean, it can happen in a year. I'm not predicting this. So people are going to say, hey, Rick's predicting they're going to win the ACC. I'm telling you it can happen in a year. Let me ask you this. Did anyone think Kurt Signetti was going to have Indiana in the playoff in his first year? Nobody. I thought it was a great hire. Indiana had no football tradition. Zero. They're in that same Big Ten James Franklin was in. Perennial punching bag against the top half of the conference. And what does he do, man? Has the big double-digit win season last year and gets them in the playoff. Won 11 games. They've won their 11-0 this year. So what I'm saying is it can happen. Yes, our fan question of the week, Brandon. Send it to our professional door text line, 391-0788. What will Virginia Tech's record be next season? That's the question. Give me your best look at the record. So that's our fan question of the week. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Check out ReadySetFund.com if you're trying to raise some money for whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be a high school sports team or middle school sports team. ReadySetFund.com, Bob Crisp. Reach out to them and check them out. It's worth it. It's worth it. I don't know why that's on there. Professional Door, Travis Gibbs up in Dublin. They need workers, man. Walk in, talk to them. I know a couple people that's already gone that heard us talking about it on the show. They want to train you. Garage Doors better than anybody. They've got a lot of jobs and not enough quality people. Go help them out. They'll help you out. Great career move. Lara Ramsey, National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of this program. I've been with them 35 years. Charles Lee, Little River Heating and Air, 540-553-2971. Swear by him. People ask me, hey, I think people are calling him because I get called. Hey, should I call Little River? I say, absolutely you should. I'll stand by. I tell you what, if you have a negative experience with Charles Lee, you let me know about it because you won't. They're so good at what they do. And so is the Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment folks, Jonathan Sweet and Tim Miller. How good was that interview yesterday? Need to have him all the time. Hey, what's up, Pat? Good morning. What's up, PK? Christopher. Brandon's got 7 and 5. TP, by the way, he said I could tell you, Tony Powell picked 10 wins next year for Tech. Wow. TP's been the most aggressive on the record for next year. I think so, David. Yep. I think so. He asks, is the clock now ticking on Witt? I think he stayed to get this done. Correct. And now I think he'll be lauded. There'll be a lot of replace all that negativity from the early firing and how things have gone, and then he might just say, sayonara. I failed twice to bring football to glory. I'm not the main reason this happened, but I'm leaving on a very positive note for Hokie Nation, and that he'll have his reputation. A lot of people will think it's, going to be restored now. Great interview yesterday. Made my wife watch it while she was working. Which one? The one with which one? The one with Phil Almatian? Or you meant the one with Jonathan Sweet? Either one of them, they were outstanding. Outstanding. Yeah, I agree with that, Tebow. I don't think it's going to be close. I think James Franklin's going to dominate the in-state school battle. Oh, the one with Phil, yeah, Phil Almatian, yeah, he's unbelievable. Now, apparently yesterday, I heard from him. He was on Greg Roberts' show. Greg's outstanding, by the way. Known Greg a long time. Does a great job on his daily show. Apparently, he threw a little fly in the ointment. He didn't give me details, but apparently he was getting some angry reaction. He's not necessarily trying to be counter, but he brought some reality into it. But Tebow, I think you're right. I don't think TKO is a good way to word it. I think it's going to be a flatliner for Virginia. They're going to have to work really hard because that's what he does best. And he can sell them now with the guys, not only high school kids, but out of the portal. I think you're going to see evaluations be better. And with that money, hopefully Tech will go up 81 and get Matt Roan. That's what David Slusher says. Yeah, he played at Tech. He's a Tech guy. He's going to lose his football coach. Just saying. James Franklin and Matt Roan together, that could be pretty special. Yeah. Rising superstar. I agree 100%. Yep. Yeah, Virginia's having a good year because they did, let's give them their flowers. They recruited well out of the portal. They used their NIL money well. But Chandler Morris is the key to that whole thing. And I don't see that being a long-term solution. Tebow, I'm with you 100% on both of those topics. And I'm always with this gentleman 100%. Brian Seigla joining us from the Boundary Corner podcast. And it's great. We get to talk about an early reaction from the news that broke yesterday. Hey, what's up?
What's going on, Rick? How you feeling?
Doing all right, man. Where are you? You're not your usual digs.
I'm downtown. I'm in the office today. We've got stuff going on.
I'm
all
sure.
Hands meetings, all sorts of fun stuff. So I am in the building. having a good time. But it's the news broke yesterday, and it's been a fun ride since then for sure.
Yeah, and we're not surprised, you and I. This has kind of been what's been out there for a long time. I think the most humorous part of this was, we've been talking about this together here for like a month. You've been doing it on the Boundary Corner, yet it was presented on Saturday on game day, and all of a sudden it became real. I'm like, well, no, they didn't really report anything new. We know. But what was your reaction and the gang's reaction? Obviously, going into this on paper, on the surface, this is an absolute massive win for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I think, you're already seeing so much buzz kind of building around the program. I mean, this is covered nationally. This is a big deal across the board.
Yeah.
Recruiting wise, I think this is going to be a huge boost. I think this is going to be a good look for the way the rest of this class shakes out. I know that when we were looking at this class, it was kind of disappointing overall. I'm wondering how many of those Penn State guys head this way. It sounds like when some of those guys that potentially could be in play, posted about the hire, really excited for Coach Franklin. So, I'm hoping that this is going to be exactly what Virginia Tech needed in terms of raising the profile of the program and getting us back into the national spotlight a little bit.
Well, I think it's going to just naturally. He's got that personality, and this is going to put the brand back out there a little bit. People are going to be curious to follow and see how he tries to rebuild this thing. And I think people are going to be reminded too about what Frank Beamer. Doesn't it feel like in a way, Brian, the last 8 years has taken away what Coach Beamer did here a little bit, because it's never really talked about. I'm not talking about from Tech fans, but nationally they just seem to completely forget about it now, right? It's only been about the now, and with this hire, the new now in Blacksburg is going to create more of a topical conversation on shows like Game Day and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely puts you right back in the national conversation consistently. And it's a boost to the brand. And I think a bigger boost even than, when we go back to, late 2015 with the Fuente hire, we got a high caliber coach in that cycle. I mean, I think when you look at Fuente, he was probably a top 5 candidate in that cycle.
Sure.
But Franklin, of coaches that didn't already have a job somewhere else, Franklin was at the top of the list, I think, for a lot of people. And the fact that you got on him early, and then you ended up closing the deal with all the jobs that were available for him to potentially look at, I think that's just a testament that this committee did their diligence, and the rest of the group there with the BOV and folks in the athletic department were able to close the deal and get it done.
Do you have any insight early about what kind of staff you think is going to be announced? I'm sure that's something that's already been going on, even before a guy officially agrees to the job. He's saying, hey, if I go here, blah, 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 I'd like to have you on my staff. What kind of insight do you think you're going to get this week about the staff?
I'm interested to see where Anthony Poindexter plays in this thing. I'm interested to see if there is any role for Brent Pry in this regime. That would be a really interesting situation. Outside of those two, I don't have a ton of insight right now. I think Curtis is in the process of kind of compiling a list of like everybody that's worked for Coach Franklin in the last, decade or so. So I think we're going to have some things to talk about tonight when we go live. It's going to be fun. We're going to have folks, we're going to be passing out mics and cameras tonight, just getting everybody's takes and just having a good time with it. Because right now, I mean, this is more important than kind of, I think, the football remaining at this point, because this is the future of the program.
It is. I mean, the last 2 games, they're important, but really not. I mean, you sealed the deal, the fact that you're going to have a losing season last week. Yep. I know it's Miami. Okay. But, this is the news. This is the real news. And what has been the reaction of all the gang? I mean, everybody I know is very positive. They should be. What kind of initial reaction did everybody have there in your on your table there at Boundary Corner?
Yeah, I mean, really a lot of excitement. I know for our buddy Jonathan Talley, he was Franklin was at the top of his list right out the gate. It just kind of made sense. He was available. We could go ahead and kind of get the conversation started now. Didn't have to play any waiting games. Probably had even less competition. In those discussions, I think, out the gate. So it just kind of made sense. And when you look at the recruiting footprint of James Franklin, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. His success in the Mid-Atlantic, reaching to Virginia, taking 3 or 4 kids a year in the top 10 in Virginia, those are kids that could potentially come play for Virginia Tech. And that's big. Recruiting in that Maryland area, that's a big win as well. So I'm just excited about what this means for recruiting and what this means for the profile of the program, because it's going to put us back into place where we're in the conversation for a lot of these kids that we've been missing out on.
Ryan Seigla joining us on the program from the Boundary Corner podcast. You don't want to miss that ever, but especially tonight. They're going to be all over this thing as the reaction continues to come in. And I think today we're going to have a lot of follow-up speculation, maybe even some information come out about staff. I know we're going to hear about recruiting immediately because I think that's what he does better than anything, right? He is a terrific recruiter. He always has been. It's never been a problem for him at Vandy, getting players to go down there when that program was a disaster. It obviously is not a problem at a blue blood like Penn State, and it's not going to be a problem, in my opinion, in Blacksburg either.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when you look at what Franklin's been able to do recruiting-wise, I mean, outside of the, Diego Pavia run of late with Vanderbilt, I mean, he really was able to do stuff at Vanderbilt that people hadn't really seen done before. Go to Penn State, where he was able to bring that program back from the brink after the scandal there. He knows how to put the pieces in place to be a successful program. And if the biggest knock is that he can't win the big game against Ohio State and Michigan, who've won, 2 of the last 3 national championships, I mean, that puts you in a pretty good spot to be successful here in Blacksburg.
Yeah, it does. It does. And also to your point, I mean, it's instant marketing. That's the thing about this. It's got so many layers to it, not just getting Tech back out there nationally, but what this is going to do internally. You're going to have fans very excited. All of a sudden, that goal of donor money that they need to help reach the certain level of that $229 million, all of a sudden now, I got a feeling you're going to see a huge announcement. You're going to continue to hear momentum going toward that direction, because this also proves to all these skeptical Tech fans that they are dead serious about getting this football program back up to where it needs to be.
Dead serious. You get the money commitment. You get the commitment of getting a big-time head coach in there. Now you just got to go out there and win some football games. And I think that's the biggest thing with this, is that if you can get some wins early, keep the momentum that you have, carried in from this hire into the regular season and get some good wins. That's going to be really important for that long-term funding as well. I mean, we saw when the announcement came out, there was the link to put some money in behind the program, and I think that's going to be important going forward, obviously.
Well, and in this first recruit has to be the relationship, the marriage between what quarterback he decides to select to run his first team, right? That's going to be what everybody needs to watch. Who's he going to find? Who is it going to be? That quarterback's not on the roster now. And I think that's going to be intriguing, because how is that guy going to mesh with him to bring this program into play in Blacksburg? That's going to be the one recruit, the one position he has to make sure he gets right.
Yeah, he's got to get the quarterback right. I mean, we've seen this year that, for the most part, inconsistent quarterback play has been the difference in a couple potential wins that this team could have had, even with all the other struggles that they've had throughout the year, whether it's been, attrition due to the, Brent Pry getting fired or everything else. If you have consistent quarterback play in just a handful of those games, we could be talking about at least a bowl trip this year. So when you look at that quarterback position, that's the one you got to get right. You got to get it settled up early, because I think if you get that in place, then a lot of those other pieces will fall into it as well, because people want to play for a quarterback that they can trust.
That's right. That's right. That can embody the vision of the offense. That can be a leader, kind of a face of that program, if not, publicly, at least internally, what they need in the locker room. And, I'm not sure Kyron Drones has been that guy. They haven't had that in a long time, where that quarterback, and how many times did Tech have great teams where we knew the quarterback was the Tyrod Taylor, Brian, you go through all those guys, knew who was going to control the huddle and control the sideline.
Yeah, you got to get the quarterback right. You got to have a leader. I think you need a verbal leader as well. I think that's the one thing Kyron probably struggles with, is he's not very much a verbal guy. He's very much a lead by example type quarterback. And I think, because he's had inconsistencies on the field, it's kind of struggled, I think, with his development as a leader as well, because, he kind of plays up and down, and it's kind of hard to get behind someone that's, playing inconsistently as well.
Well, again, Brian, remind people again about where you guys are going to be tonight and how they can get active and be there and interactive with you.
Absolutely. The best place to join us tonight is going to be on YouTube. But if you want to jump on, join us. We're going to be throwing the links in the YouTube chat. We're going to be throwing it on X, on Facebook as well. So if you want to click on that, join us on the podcast tonight. We'll be talking through. We want to get everybody's takes. We want to see what everybody thinks about this thing. I think a lot of people are excited. I think there's a little skepticism out there, but not a ton. Definitely, probably less than you would typically get with the new football hires. So I think everyone's really excited, and we want to hear what they got to say. So check us out on YouTube at Boundary Corner VT, on X at Boundary Corner. We'll be riding that tonight. And if you want to check out all of our old episodes, it's at boundarycornervt.com. So go check us out. It's going to be fun tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And you always do a great job. Folks, check it out. You're going to have a lot of fun, and get interactive, man. They want to hear from you throughout the course of the podcast. So well, enjoy, my friend. I know you will. And you guys have a great time.
I appreciate it, Rick. It's always a good time joining you and talking this. And I know we've been chatting, offline and trying to get this thing done. I'm so glad that it got done just before I got to join you this morning, so we can talk about it a little bit and cut up.
It's great. It's great. They did that just for our timing. I heard that was part of the negotiation, by the way.
Yeah, we got to get ready so Big Dog on Tuesday can talk about it.
Yeah, they couldn't wait. All right, brother. Y'all have fun, man. Take care. Talk to you next week.
Appreciate it, Rick. You have a good one now.
All right, you too. There you go. Yeah, and Brian's right. We don't need to talk about the Miami game right now. This is what happened yesterday is much bigger than this Miami game. But in any event, good stuff. They're going to have a great time. Check them out. They do a great job. They have their at least 4 guys at one time, and they just interact, and they will have great takes all the way around. Speaking of great takes, Mike Burnop joins us, and now he can talk about it openly. A lot of times, I knew Mike knew things, but you can't ask certain people, put them in a bad position. And I would never do that. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to be. I understand his obligations with what he has over there. And, everybody was kind of in a code of silence over there. So now he can talk about it and how much he's looking forward to it. And, with Mike, he's seen a lot of change over there. He knew how important this was. And I'm interested to get his take. You don't want to miss coming up, Mike Burnop, in our final segment here today. All right. Hit us up on the McClellan Chiropractic chat room. Hit us up on the Professional Door text line. You also never want to miss any conversation we have with our next guest. He's a Radford Hall of Famer, our NFL correspondent, David Smith. What's up, DS? Good to see you, brother. Good to hang out with you this weekend a little bit anyway. I never get to see you enough, though, up at the Greenbrier, although the results weren't what we were looking for.
No, we hope that was a bad not a bad sign, but just a bad moment. So we'll chalk it up to that because it's not a lot. Listen, you all schedule's kind of crazy. Not a lot of time. Y'all got an NBA schedule going on, man. Y'all in South Carolina tonight. You got Wilmington Friday, SMU Monday. I think it's like 6 games in 13 days. What are y'all doing?
Correct.
Pelicans? Y'all playing like
I think so.
I think so. Pelicans. Hope we're not the Pelicans relative to the NBA in terms of how they are in the rankings. But it was good to see you this weekend, man. Pretty good event, Rick, when you think about it. Be able to come out there and be able to get some kind of recognition in a nice spot, get the kids out for campus and that kind of thing. I'm sure they want to win a few more than they lose, but hopefully they're learning along the way, brother. Hopefully they're learning along the way. So
they have their mid-major division they call the River, and then this coming weekend they bring up 3 P4s and Butlers, so you have 4 very strong programs. So that'll be interesting to see how all that plays out for them. But before we get into any NFL talk, your reaction. I mean, you're close to the Virginia Tech athletic program as well. All signs point to this being widely revered, and rightfully so. Tech fans suffered for a long time, and this has been the guy. We talked about it for the last month. This has been the one person Tech has focused on, and we'll probably find out it was a little further down the road than had been led on, but it kind of got a little late in the game. I know Tech wanted an answer. They got one yesterday at 4 o'clock.
I like it, Rick. I've liked it from the beginning, probably more than others. I know there's any of these negotiations that go on, people are like, hey, don't treat us like a second fiddle and this and that and the other. And you know more than you've been able to say too. And so there's probably a whole lot of angst because folks feel some kind of way because they want answers. And I've heard Dwight Vick, who I love. I got to talk to him one day. I don't know. I may pop in one Thursday just to say hi to him.
Yeah, we'll get you and Vic on there. That'd be great.
Because listen, I don't want to say anything. I just want to be able to just say more. I just want to gas him up. But at the end of the day, Virginia Tech, I think, needed to get several things out of this. I think they needed to get someone who could bring cachet to a program that deserves cachet.
Yeah,
he's a name and a brand that can bring attention to Tech because the Thursday night and the Inner Sandman and the Beamer jersey and all that's fine. But we've been able to, I say we as a Tech fan, been able to secure a certain niche in the college landscape. And now we need to continue to do that by winning games. So the cachet is in place. James Franklin's footprint, I was texting a couple of buddies of mine, a guy who used to play at Tech last night. He recruits the same area that Tech is adored. I mean, you think about, this guy also coached Michael Parsons and Saquon Barkley now. They were both on his watch at Penn State. Pretty good football players. There's Tyler Warren from Richmond, who's the first-round pick tight end playing for the Colts right now, right out of Richmond. He didn't come to Tech. He went to Penn State. They've been getting enough of our kids over the year. He's coached at Maryland. So he gets that whole thing. Penn State's coming into Virginia and getting the kids that we need to make sure see Tech like they've seen Penn State. I think he's going to be able to solidify that. To your point, how he manages his staff is going to be great because if he brings a lot of those Penn State guys to Virginia Tech that has been recruiting the DMV, and he can get a few from Penn State, from Pennsylvania, I should say, I think it's going to be a win for Tech. I'm excited that they were able to land someone first with all these job openings. In a lot of ways, Rick is going to bring a lot of energy to it. And, of course, I heard Brian say earlier, he's great, too. I've got to listen to his podcast, and I'll be quiet after this.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yep.
You've got to get the quarterback right.
You got to nail it. Yep.
Rick, and it's not just I've repeated this when we talk about the NFL. I've repeated it when I've talked to people about high school football, any level of football. And Rick, I think it's magnified more now these days than maybe when you and I played, don't you?
Yeah,
because
it does.
Because I think now the separator is how to be able to establish some kind of points in a football game. They still keep those scoreboards for points. Somebody's got to be able to create points because the defense can only do so much. The 2000 Ravens and the 85 Bears are not coming out there, but every 15 years that's going to be able to carry the whole load. It's not that sport anymore. So nailing the quarterback and getting it right is going to be job number one. But I like the hire, and I'm excited for Tech fans to be able to say somebody of relevance wanted to come to Blacksburg, and now he's ours. So let's embrace it and support it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it all pieces together. And he may have to wait to announce some of his staff because if it is Penn State guys, they're not going to say, hey, he's coming with me while he's got some more games to play there, because they're coming off of a big win as well.
And by the way, Rick, isn't Anthony Poindexter on his staff up there?
Yes, he is. Yeah, that's what Brian was just talking about. Yeah.
Jefferson Forest guy, so, UVA all-American, tragically career ended by staying one extra year. He could have been the next Ronnie Lott kind of guy, but he's a super guy, used to be on Virginia staff. So hopefully we can bring some of that to the table. So it's exciting to see good times for Virginia Tech to be able to be relevant in the national news and take it away from some of those Floridas and LSUs and Arkansas.
Yeah.
Pretty good deal. Deal.
Last 8 years or so haven't been necessarily kind to a Tech fan, but now they can celebrate today.
They can. Let's go get it.
All right, speaking of celebration here, let's work through some of the games here a little quicker now because we did spend time on Tech. But what do we got? What do we got on the NFL docket coming up?
Well, we're gonna start with segment number one. We got the Bucs played the Bills on Sunday, so it was a lot of good matchups on Sunday for those of you that watched. It was a lot of good matchups. Tampa Bay was coming into that game at 6-3. Buffalo as well, and so Buffalo ends up getting the win 44-32. The interesting part about the Buffalo game, though, is they were coming off of a loss to my Dolphins, 30-13. So Buffalo goes to Miami, and once a year, Miami gets somebody in their crosshairs down in that heat and handles them, and they did that. So the question was how is Buffalo going to rebound? The answer is if the Buffalo Bills play at home, they're a way different football team than when they're on the road. But if Josh Allen plays like he does and gets 6 touchdowns in the football game, probably going to win. So they put up 44 points against a Tampa Bay team that you and I like a lot. We're fans of Tampa Bay. They were 6-2 a couple of weeks ago, and they've now lost 2 straight. They lost to the Patriots 28-23 last week. So they don't want to see the AFC East anymore after losing 2 straight to them. So Baker Mayfield, pretty pedestrian, 173 yards in the game. They ran the ball for 202 yards. They've had a lot of injuries, though, and so they haven't had Mike Evans in a while, and so they're probably feeling some of the effects of that as they start to muddle through this thing. Interestingly enough, for Tampa Bay, they were walking away with this division. But if you look in the mirror, Rick, you know who's creeping up on Tampa Bay? It's the Carolina Panthers. All of a sudden, creeping up on them at I think 6-5 record, so they're only a half a game behind Tampa. Meanwhile, Buffalo is now 7-3, and it's been a foregone conclusion for about the last 5 or 6 years. If they were going to win that division, not so fast, my friend. They are now trailing the New England Patriots by a game and a half on top of that division. So Buffalo at 7-3, 5-1 at home, find a way to win the game. They will go to Houston in a very tough game on a short week, Thursday night, your favorite night for football, Rick, Thursday night on Amazon Prime. They will play the 5-5 Houston Texans, and you and I know that's a pesky bunch right there. You don't want to play DeMeco Ryans' football team anytime, certainly on a short week. Meanwhile, Tampa, it doesn't get any easier for them. They've had the Patriots, they've had the Bills, and now they're getting ready to go play the probably hottest team in the league. One of them is the 8-2 LA Rams, one of your favorites. They play them on Sunday Night Football coming up this week. So Tampa right now has got to tighten up. Carolina is breathing down their neck. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they're in search of trying to get their 6th or 7th straight AFC East division crown as the Patriots are looming large.
The Rams, Seahawks, it was a good game, really good game. Rams get the win. Matthew Stafford just kind of manages the game right now. You're right. He's not going to go out and necessarily kill you, but he doesn't hurt you as well. And that was a big win for them. You can see the emotion. I haven't seen the Rams that emotional over a win in a long, long time. And I think that game, they put a lot into it, and that kind of cleared them away a little bit.
Rick, I couldn't even believe some of the stats in this game, and I think I may have tossed a sheet away. It was crazy enough that they outgained the Rams by 1 million in the game, crazily enough. I mean, the only stat that they didn't win was, they won 2. They turned the ball over way too much. Sam Darnold reverted back to some of his old ways, which is not great. He had 4 interceptions in the football game, and they still had a kick to win it at the end. Meanwhile, Matthew Stafford, only 130 yards passing in the game. I think he's thrown 22 TDs with no picks in the last 5 or 6 games. That's MVP worthy, particularly as this team is now ascending to the top of that NFC West, which is a gauntlet when you're dealing with the Niners and the Seahawks. And winning this game meant a lot to them. And, of course, the Rams don't have the greatest home field advantage. So the fact that they were able to be 4-1 at home, they now moved to 8-2 in the division. And they ran the ball for 119 yards in the game. Interestingly enough, like I said, the Seahawks outgained them by about 150 yards in the football game. And they ran it 35 times for 135 yards. Seattle's going to be mad that this one got away from them, because they did enough to win that game, and it's still a game on the road. Probably going to loom large for them in terms of who's going to win the division. It can host a playoff game. More importantly, the Niners are still hanging around just to get out of that division and qualify for the playoffs. It's going to get real dicey when you start trying to find a seat at the table. I actually think they're going to probably get 3 teams, Rick, because it's only going to be the Eagles in the East. It's probably, I say that, the NFC North with Green Bay and the Lions, and all of a sudden the Chicago Bears. They're leading the division all of a sudden, Rick. Go figure that out at 7-3. It's going to be between them and the NFC West teams to see how many get in. So for Seattle, they're 7-3 right now. They're probably ahead of schedule. The way they're playing right now, they've got to go play the 1-9 Titans on the road. Again, every week in the NFL, just remember, something's going to happen that you're not counting on. Where it's going to be, we don't know. If you're Seattle, hope it's not them. That's a cross-country tour, right? This is second road game for them, and they're going across country to play in Nashville. Meanwhile, the Rams are going to host the Bucs on Sunday night. The 6-4 Bucs coming off of a loss. That's a Sunday night game on NBC. That'll be a chance for them to go up to 9-2 and pretty much get a bit of a grip on this division, as the Rams are showing that they are to be contended with, just like you predicted earlier this year, sir.
Well, unfortunately, the Eagles game still highlighted by a call at the end. It's still being talked about. I just looked it up again this morning.
Terrible.
People are outraged. The NFL continues to put out a horrible product. And I don't understand how the people up top can continue to ignore this. This is why people get into the conspiracy theories about gambling. This is why people wonder about how games are decided. That pass interference call was one of the worst things I've seen in a long time, and this was a game that deserved better than that. And we're seeing national people. We're seeing people just openly now no longer care about their affiliation with the NFL. They're criticizing the league and continues to have just don't say anything about it. Let's don't reprimand anybody. NFL's got a major problem, and they're going to screw around on this thing. I know they feel like everybody just loves football so much that they're going to continue to just ignore all this, just like they ignore the health of their players with the grass and with the concussions. I'm telling you, man, it's going to end up being a problem because that game should not – no one's even talking about the game. They're talking about the call, and that's a problem for the league.
And, Rick, if you're going to stick your head in the sand, you're going to find yourself finding your product is going to get scrutinized over and over. And, Rick, it's a real simple fix to me on it. All you've got to do is make the optics of it right. Just make them full-time officials. And then you can then qualify the mistakes as being a mistake, not because you haven't prepared. Just make them full-time. Then you can say, we're trying the best we can. We know there's no perfection in it. That one to me is one that, or the other part of it, Rick, is anything after in the final 2 minutes, just review it. Just go to the booth and just review the doggone thing and get the thing right. You're talking about a game that could have serious playoff implications, divisional implications. If you're the Lions right now, you're in a dogfight. You're watching the Bears win. You're watching the Packers win, and you know and by the way, they weren't at their best on Sunday as well. And so that play gets magnified, but we don't care if that's a first quarter play. We all know how it matters at the end of the game. It's all magnified, just like in basketball, Rick. Charge or block at the end of the game.
Right.
It tips the balance a lot more than it does with 3 minutes because you don't have enough time to make up for that at the end of the game. And so here's the thing with Detroit. On top of the fact they didn't get the call, Rick, it's probably the first time since Dan Campbell's been calling the offense that they didn't look great. But guess why, Rick? The Philadelphia Eagles is pretty good. We haven't talked a lot about the Eagles. To me, they very methodically, watch this, they've become a championship-style team. Here's the deal, Rick. They've been to the top of the mountain. They know you can just tell a team that's won before. They're not bothered about stuff. They just keep on. And if A.J. Brown had been quiet, you wouldn't even notice the Eagles are 8-2 right now. The funny part about them is their only losses was that weird anomaly to the Giants when Scatterboo and those boys go crazy, a division game, and then your Broncos. Those are the only two teams that have beaten the Eagles this year, back-to-back. They win it any way you want to do it. Their defense is dominating people right now. They're bludgeoning people with those Georgia boys in the middle. And that doggone pickup of Jalen Phillips from Miami has just added more greatness to their defense. So they hold the Lions to 9 points, their lowest score of the year. And so for Detroit, now at 6-4, all of a sudden in a scrappy division, which we knew was going to be tough, Green Bay and the Chicago Bears are just resurgent. They're a lot like your Broncos to me. There's fine ways to win games, Rick. Don't apologize for winning games. That's the measuring stick for how you get into the playoffs. The Lions now will host the Giants at 1 o'clock on Sunday. The poor Giants are just trying to tread water and get to next season and get their players back. And the Eagles are playing the Cowboys. Cowboys, they're going to go to Dallas. And, Rick, you know enough about this sport to know division games, forget the record. It matters. The Eagles are 6-2. The Cowboys, with the win last night, are 4-5-1. They aren't a very good team, but they're playing on a lot of emotion right now with the Marshawn Neal and passing. So you still got to go to Dallas. They're feeling like they might can be on this kind of rhythm thing. If Dallas wins, they'll be 5-5 coming up. As far as the Eagles go, they're 4-1 at home. And by the way, Saquon Barkley has just been adequate so far this year. But he's not complaining because guess what? The Eagles are on track to try to get back to being the number one seed in the NFC. As long as they don't get that tush-push kind of scrutinized, Rick, those boys are jumping offside a little bit. They're going to have to get that fixed. And so NFL, has got some work to do to make sure that people aren't watching like that and find their product to be tainted. That's right.
Yeah, it's starting to spread, man. They're doing it to themselves.
Yeah,
they're doing it to themselves.
And Rick, it's so fixable. It's so fixable. Don't sit out here and just be arrogant about it. If people start to scream, they're gonna have to start to get it right.
100%. And finally, beloved Broncos, 9-2 now without Patrick Surtain, and they've lost Shock. J.K. Dobbins can't get through a season. They still go out there, and their defense plays very well. Alex Singleton, their leading tackler, out as well after his cancer surgery. So Broncos were really under the gun with a lot of people that they'd relied on to get to 8 wins, and they still got it done. And Bo Nix wasn't spectacular, but he needed to make plays in the fourth quarter. He did, and the Broncos beat the Chiefs and send them to 5-5 on the year.
Well, that win meant two different things for you, and should have anyway. Number one is You beat a division rival, your nemesis, the Chiefs. You took care of business at home. You're 9-2. You're keeping pace with the Patriots for the 1 seed. I think right now, I think in the tiebreak, I think it'd be you guys as the 1 seed in the AFC, which would mean a bye. That means that everything would have to come through mile high. Let's get the breathing apparatus on the sidelines because, brother, it could be chilly. It could be that altitude. And, Rick, here's the funny part. You know this. Y'all played 11 straight football games, too. It's been no break until this week.
No break. A lot of travel, too.
That's a lot right there. So to be able to come, would you have signed up for 9-2? You'd have signed up for 9-2. You sure?
I would, although it should be 10-1. But yes.
Yes, you should. Well, funny you say that. As we speak, the only 2 losses, 29-28 at Indy and 23-20 at the Chargers. And just think about that. Now, of course, Rick, you know, the law of averages play this thing out a certain way.
It does.
If you win those games, what others wouldn't have gone your way? The comeback against the Giants. So you know
that never should have happened. That never should have happened. Yeah.
So guess what you do? You take what you get, bro. That's why I don't. I try to. The NFL is a little different than college because there's a whole style points and how you rank them and all that. And I'm a college football fan. I love football all the way around. Middle school, pop, pee-wee, anything. The reason why I love the NFL is it's very simple. What your record is will determine where you are in the playoffs. That's it. That's what it is.
That's right.
There's no it's this,
no
this win didn't matter. Well, you only beat the 2-9 Giants by this. No one cares because they say every time you win an NFL game, if you look at those locker rooms, those guys are jubilant. It's a week's worth of work. It's a grind, and they treat them all the same. So your boys have played 11 straight games, and they got their bye week now. And Rick, Bo Nix probably looked as good as he's looked this year. He really did look as good as he's looked this year. That throw on 3rd down to seal the game was gutsy as crap. That play was epic right there. And again, I know he's new to it, but don't you just feel that Sean Payton and him, if Sean Payton can have a guy that's going to be with him and can go through all the stuff, because Bo Nix doesn't seem bothered about Sean Payton blowing a gasket all the time. He just kind of goes with it.
He gives it back to him. It seems to be a mutual thing that Bo he's open about countering him, but it's interesting because Peyton doesn't take it take it personally.
That's right. That's right.
They have a discussion, and then and Bo's talked about that. So it seems to be a positive developing relationship.
Whereas Russell Wilson, it just didn't seem like it. I mean, you can see it. That's another story for another day or no other day. But the point, Bo Nix and him are going to be locked into it because I think Bo Nix understands if this is just who he's going to be. Meanwhile, for you guys with the bye week, it's important to talk about the Chiefs are now 5-5, and they've got to play the Colts this week, and they could be 5-6. I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a long time since the Chiefs at 11 games have not had a winning record, and the Colts are 8-2. That's a 1:00 game on Sunday. Here's the difference for them, Rick. They're 0-5 in one-score games and 11-0 last year in one-score games. And did something break in your house? Are you okay?
No, we're good. We're good. There's something fall over there. It's
okay.
Fine.
If you need a minute,
no,
let
we're
me
good.
know.
Trying to find it. I see I had some stuff stacked there. It's my fault. I didn't put stuff away. I was getting stuff ready to go out the door. Yeah.
Had me looking. So there you go. But congrats to the Broncos, boy. Lock that division up early, Rick, and rest some guys. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and they should get Surtain and Singleton back in 2 weeks. So
that'd be perfect. That'd be great.
That's good. All right, so what's the hot 4 look like right now with those 9-2 Broncos?
A future. There you go. You know you're going to be in there. Listen, at number 4, weirdly enough, I got the Eagles at 4. You say, what are you talking about? You just praised the Eagles. They're 8-2. They've beaten the Lions, Chiefs, Rams, Bucks, and Packers. However, they did lose to the Giants. So I will just keep them at 8-2. The hot 4 for me is all about wins, and stacking up wins matters the most. As I just mentioned, that's what will gauge your playoff opportunity. I got your Broncos still at number 3 at 9-2. Rick, you guys have won 8 straight games, 8 straight wins, and you beat the Chiefs, and you guys have a needed bye week coming up. I got the Rams at 8-2, slightly ahead of you all. They just beat the Seahawks 21-19. They right now are probably playing as good as anybody in the NFC along with the Eagles. And I got the Patriots at number 1 at 9-2. Yep. They just beat the Jets, and the New England Patriots look to total complete part. It's going to be real interesting to see if they can hold on down the stretch and win that AFC East. So a couple of changes. The Eagles came in, and the Colts went out, as that's the hot 4 as we wrap up week 11 and head into week number 12.
Not surprised. Drake May, I loved him in college. And
you sure did.
He has just he's found his niche now with the right coaches. It's good. It's fun to watch a kid like that develop. It is.
And as we've said, Rick, if you look at all four of those teams, not a surprise. Good coaching and darn good quarterback play right now.
Yeah. All right. So how about the picks this week? First of all, how did we do last week?
Well, we've been better, Rick. You were 1-4, my good friend. Both of us had the Falcons. They lose it overtime. We had the Bucks against the Bills. We had the Chargers. Who saw the Chargers getting smoked by Jacksonville? Not you and I, and they did.
What was up with that?
That was I don't know what to make of that. And you had the Rams over the Seahawks, and they actually got that done. So I said 2-3. I'm actually 1-4 with you. And you had the Lions over the Eagles. I had the Eagles. So we both were 1-4. You're at 20-20 so far this year, Rick. And I'm 20. And I'm 21-19. 2020. There's your vision. There you go. So I'm just one game ahead of you, but there's always this week. Ready? Here we go. Week number 12. Dolphins, Commanders, Broncos, and Chargers are on a bye. So we're going to start off a couple good games again, Rick. The Buffalo Bills on a short week with the win, going to play the 5-5 Titans on Thursday night. Who do you like?
Who are they playing? Who we got?
Bills play the Texans. I said Titans. I'm sorry, Texans. Bills and Texans Thursday night.
In Houston.
Short week. Bills on the road.
Bills aren't good on the road. You just talked about that. You just highlighted how they're not that great on the road.
Well.
CJ back? What's CJ's status?
Hadn't heard. I guess we'll find out today. Davis Mills played well last time out. So, but
I'm gonna go Texans at home. How about that?
Them too. I'm with you. I'm going to go Texans. Listen, I'm a Dolphins fan. I know we're out of it, but anytime the Bills can lose, I'm good. The 6-4 Steelers. We don't know about Aaron Rodgers either. Left wrist issue. Mason Rudolph came in and gave him a boost the other day. The 6-4 Steelers at the 7-3 Bears. I have a wife that really wants to see the Bears win that game. So we'll see what happens. Steelers at Bears, 1:00 on CBS Sunday.
Guess you got to go with Chicago just because, like you said, we don't know about Rodgers. I mean, if he's not there, man, that just makes that offense even more anemic, right?
Well, Rick, I don't. What's funny? I'm going to take the Steelers, and here's why. I just can't imagine. Now the Bears will probably win the game. I want to take the Steelers because Mason Rudolph may come into that thing and surprise everybody because for some reason Mike Tomlin's kept him around. He understands the landscape of it. I'm going to take the Steelers. That would be my upset for the week right there. I don't expect them to win, but I got to take the outlier. Meanwhile, the Vikings are reeling. They're 4-6 right now. They play the Packers. The Packers barely escaped on Sunday in their game. They're 6-3-1. That game's in Green Bay, 1:00 on Sunday. Vikings at Packers.
They had Sam Darnold.
Oh.
J.J.
Daniel Jones.
Right. J.J. McCarthy doesn't look the part to me. I'm going Green Bay.
Rick, he was missing wide open guys, wasn't he? Oh gosh,
they didn't look good. They blew that whole thing, man. They blew that whole
thing. And they know it now, but they're stuck.
They
with
know
what
it now.
They're stuck with what they're stuck with. The 8-2 Colts coming off of a bye at the 5-5 Chiefs. Chiefs really need one right here, Rick. Colts are coming in trying to get that 1 seed in the AFC. I know where you're going.
So here's where we are with the officiating. The league's not going to let the Chiefs go under 500.
I knew you were going to say that.
Chiefs win at home.
I actually picked the Chiefs too because I knew you were going to say that. I said you don't even care about how the game's going to be.
They're not going to let them be 5-6. No chance.
Is your girl Taylor Swift going to show up too for a little bit of energy?
Lord, let's hope not. Let's hope that's over. I don't think they show her much anymore. God Almighty.
Well, here we go. Final game of the week. The 6-4 Bucks 2-game losing streak against the hot Rams. That's a Sunday night game. The 8-2 Rams are at home, if that matters. But I don't know if Tampa travels like, say, the Steelers do. Meanwhile, that's an 8:20 game. Who do you like?
Tampa and the Rams?
Yeah.
No, I'm going Rammies. Come on, that's my team, man.
That was a layup for you. Yeah, that was a layup for you. You still got to pick them. And so I took the Rams too in that one. I can't imagine they would lose that game, although we know this like anybody. I get repetitive in this. Sorry, listeners and viewers. Somewhere in this league, somebody's going to do something this week that you didn't count on. I don't know if this will be the one or not. I also took the Rams. And so those are our 5 picks for this week. Let's see if Rick can move ahead of Dave in the standings. This is not a conspiracy. We just pick them. We never even talk about them.
No, we never even talk about them. We just
this
pick
is
them.
the first time we hear about them, and so we'll see how it goes as we head into week number 12. Next week when we talk, Rick, we'll be getting ready for some turkey as we get into Thanksgiving.
Wow,
and of course,
right.
you know, like I know, the NFL really begins after Thanksgiving. Bro.
Yeah, it does. It does. We have 3 games again, right?
Yep, 3 games. Okay. Yeah, okay. And I believe always Lions, always Cowboys. I think the Cowboys may play the Chiefs.
Who's the night? I wonder who the night game is.
Ravens, Bengals. Joe Burrow may come back, although, Bengals aren't in it, but they may just want to try to mess up Baltimore's season. And so
it's always fun to watch Lamar.
I love that.
Always.
Yeah. He needs to start running the ball more, though, Rick. He hadn't run the ball. He hadn't run the ball a lot. I wonder if he's just waiting because of that hamstring to unleash when it matters.
Yeah. Just hang on, and then when he needs it, go ahead and I can still run. Hey, look at me. I'm still that guy.
Yeah. Y'all keep forgetting about me. I'll remind you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's it.
All right, brother. Have a great week. We'll see if we can bring back a dub tonight from Columbia, South Carolina.
Down 77. Y'all go get that dub. We'll be watching, man. We'll see you Friday against Wilmington.
All right, yeah. We'll see you at the big Wilmington home game. All right, brother.
That'd be a good one. All right, brother.
Thanks, man. Good stuff.
Yep.
David Smith, our NFL correspondent. And a great take that he had there on James Franklin coming to Blacksburg. Keep hitting us up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat room and on the Professional Door Incorporated text line. Get a lot of response. Keep your BDST fan question of the week brought to you by Ryan Pry. How many wins next year? Getting a lot of response. A lot of response on that already. We want to thank Louise Baker, Long and Foster Realtors, for allowing the opportunity to have this next gentleman on. And he and I have been doing this for over 15 years now on BDST. He is the best in the biz. He is Mike Burnop. What's up, Michael? Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too, Rick. Good morning. It's a new day and a new dawning of a new era.
Yeah.
What can you talk about today?
Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about today. Before we get into that, I want the story. We talked about it. I thought about you all week. I'm sitting at the Greenbrier, and I swear this is true. Radford's playing up there, and I'm sitting there on Sunday. And I knew you had the late game in Tallahassee. You talked about it. I knew you had a 2:00 tip at the Castle. And we tipped off around 2:30. I'm sitting there going, first media timeout. I wonder if Mike made the trip back to Castle. So tell us about the whirlwind you were under, man.
So we got back to the hotel. It was probably about 1:00 in the morning, maybe 1:15, something like that. So we get about, 3 hours of sleep. I think we got up about, I got up at 3:30. We left the hotel a little after 4. I got to the airport and the flight was delayed a little bit just because the flight crew had to give the okay. And I don't know if they got there late or what happened, but they ended up getting there and then they finally gave the okay. We got boarded, got to Atlanta on time and had about a 2-hour layover, which is scary because you're sitting there thinking that clock's ticking. I could be there.
Absolutely.
And so we had to change gates one time. That's always frustrating.
That's great.
Yeah. So then we finally got to Roanoke and got the bags, literally drove right back up here. I dropped Zach off. I went to the office, changed clothes, and went right to Castle. Yeah, that's how it went. And then the game was there were like 50 fouls. I don't know. There was
yeah.
There's no flow to the game. And then it took forever. So finally got home and it was like crash and burn, man. Get a little bite to eat and you just start dozing off,
You're done. Yeah, you're done. Well, congratulations. That's cool that you made it, man. I'm glad. That's awesome. And I love the fact you just went straight to the arena. Let's just go get the game over with. Let's go.
You're done.
Well, obviously, celebration day for Tech. I knew yesterday was the day that something was going to happen one or the other, and it happened all right. And the candidate they've been honed in on for a long time that you've known about, and obviously I try to explain to people, I'm never going to put you in that situation to get into it with your relationship with Bruce, but this is a home run. I mean, this is exactly what Tech needed, Mike. This is going to be, it already has been so uplifting to this fan base and the Hokies community.
They needed something good to happen, and they got the guy that they wanted, and he's a proven winner. His track record's great. He's an excellent recruiter in the state of Virginia and all over the country, really, when you think about it. But, he was at Maryland for a long time as an assistant, and he knows the area. And when Brent Pry was his defensive coordinator, they came down here and plucked a lot of players out of the state of Virginia, as you know. And so I think being within 6 hours of State College, that footprint's not going to change. And I think that I saw somewhere yesterday, and you never know what to believe when you see stuff online, but I saw somewhere yesterday that were like 15 to 17 decommits that they had at Penn State after he got fired. So if that's the case, how many of those guys might he bring to Virginia Tech? And how many of the players that were at Penn State might just take off and come and follow him here? So especially kids that maybe are from the state of Virginia and want to finish their careers out in the state of Virginia. So yeah, you never know what might happen, but yeah, they got who they wanted and worked out great. This thing with this press conference, having it tomorrow morning, I think part of that was because the men's basketball plays Wednesday night. The women's basketball team plays Thursday at 6. So it's kind of like you got to allow for shoot-arounds and stuff like that, as you know. So they wanted to get the press conference before Friday. Since the Miami game is this weekend, it's sold out, and I'm sure they probably want to try to get a bunch of recruits here for that to welcome Coach Franklin maybe. I'm not sure the schedule of the rest of the week, but yeah, so that press conference will be tomorrow at 10 o'clock, open to the public, Castle Coliseum. I'm sure they'll do it up first class, and it'll be a fun affair. But yeah, it's going to be great to have him here and see what he can do, get him started, get this class put together, and time to rock and roll.
And we'll find out, sooner than later about the kind of staff. I'm sure that's something that's already been in motion, and that's going to be key. It's always very key. You've talked about that over the years, Mike. What kind of staff are you going to have to support your new vision of your new program, right? In his case, he's built it back at Vanderbilt, built them in. Actually, he didn't have to build it back. They had nothing. He built it at Vanderbilt. Kept it going at Penn State after the Sandusky. Bill O'Brien did a nice job to put it in a certain spot. He took it to another level. Heck, he had him in the playoff semis last year. Now he's trying to bring back this program that Coach Beamer built, back to the same, scenario or even better, right?
Yeah, and I think when you look at all the coaches that are out there that have been fired, Rick, most of those guys got fired because they were losing, right? And maybe didn't have a great record or program wasn't going in the right direction. I mean, you look at what Penn State and what he was able to accomplish up there. And like you said, getting to the semifinals last year, 6 games in, he's gone, right? So of all the coaches that are out there, I think he was probably one of the most sought after, if not the most sought after coach. And with this proven record that he has, the games that he won and the bowl games and all that sort of stuff, yeah, I think it's a home run hit. And I'm glad it worked out. I don't know any of the details about the money yet. I'm sure that will be coming up soon. But yeah, I'm glad they got the job done. And congratulations to that committee and to Witt and obviously Dr. Sands and the people over in Burrs Hall for getting this thing finished. John Rokovich, I don't know if you know him, but he's a guy that he don't mess around. They're going to get it done.
Yeah.
And they got it done.
Mike Burnop joining us on the program. His appearance brought to you by Louise Baker, the Louise Baker team, Long and Foster Realtors, 540-320-0382, nrvhomes.com. Who knows? Maybe James Franklin can give Louise a call, find him a new property, right?
Absolutely. That would be a great fit because she knows about all the properties that are around. And, I've heard rumors that he already looked a little bit and, you never know what's going to happen with stuff like that, but I'm sure he'll find some place and hopefully maybe Louise will get a shot at that. You never know, but she's great. Love her, appreciate everything she does. She's a great Hokie, and I bet my last dollar that she'll probably be there tomorrow if she's in town and doesn't have a meeting.
Absolutely.
She'll be at that press conference.
100% she's going to be there at the press conference. Well, and you bring that up, the whole situation around his departure at Penn State. I hope somebody asked how he's fit. He won't probably be able to talk about it much, but, that whole thing just seems strange the way it was handled. I just, I know he had a couple bad games, but they were just in the semifinals. You can't say he didn't have that program contending where Penn State thinks they're going to be. So he might have a bit of a chip on his shoulder now, right? A little bit after all that. Who knows?
Yeah, I would think so. And I think that's true with some other schools too, just like Clemson, for example. You think about them. They were predicted to be in the college playoff, right? And maybe the national championship. And their quarterback was going to be the Heisman Trophy winner. And look what happened to them, right? They go on this, they lose a couple games, and then the players probably check out. Some of them do. And they go through this losing streak, and I think now they got it back to 500. But, yeah, it's the same thing there. I mean, they didn't get rid of Dabo, but he had a great track record and he's done a great job. So, yeah, I think, sometimes these people get a little trigger happy, and, you get some of these donors that got a lot of money and just don't care about how to spend it. And apparently what I've heard is that one donor came, I'll buy him out. So, if you got $50 million laying around, why not?
We all do. We all do.
I don't think we have that problem, Rick.
No. And the other thing too, and you've talked about this a lot, and so I kind of just say, well, he's right. You've been right every time. He's going to have to make sure the thing he nails out of all these recruiting tidbits we're going to hear, he's got to get that quarterback that's going to run his offense for his first team in Blacksburg and build on that in that relationship. And that'll come from the portal in all likelihood. But you feel like he understands that, but it's going to be interesting to see how all that comes together for him.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, the signing day for high school kids is coming up quick. I think it's the Wednesday after Thanksgiving, so December 5th or something. So that's coming fast, which is why you wanted to get somebody in here as quick as you could to try to salvage maybe the class that obviously Brent Pry and Philip Montgomery have been working on. Who knows if he wants some of those kids? He may not want half of them. Who knows? And then he's got the class that he had at Penn State that was coming in. And so that's something you got to work on. And then the portal opens up right after the first of the year. So that's something else that they'll be certainly working on hard. But it all starts with the quarterback. You got to have a good one. And if you don't, or if you have an average one, the chances of winning are pretty slim unless you got a great defense. I mean, Oklahoma, look what they did to Alabama the other day, right? Their defense forces 3 turnovers, and the offense for Alabama doubled up the numbers that Oklahoma had on offense. But unless you got a situation like that, you better have a good quarterback. And I'm sure he will find a good one. The money is out there to pay him, his staff, and the NIL. So we'll see what happens and who they bring in and how quickly it can get meshed and work together. That spring practice now is going to be huge.
No, it's going to take on a life of its own. It really is.
Yeah.
Since so many people are asking, what do you think about, is there any kind of possibility Brent Pry could end up as part of James Franklin's staff? I know it sounds strange, but I mean, it's happened in the NFL. Vance Joseph got fired in Denver as the head coach, and now he's hottest defensive coordinator in the NFL on the same Sean Payton staff. I mean, it can happen. And I know that relationship probably played a lot in his decision too.
I'm sure Brent had a lot of input into all that and how things operated around here. I mean, certainly that would have to be the case, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how that would work out. That's something that the higher ups would have to decide and see if it would be a good fit or not. I know one thing, that Brent Pry loves Virginia Tech, and he did everything he could in his power to make this thing work. And if there's anybody as close to Frank Beamer, that was him. And the way he operated and ran things and tried to build the program and get the culture back and get the ex-players involved, and all the stuff that he did was fabulous. It just didn't win enough on the field. So we'll see what happens with that. I did hear somebody say, or another thing that you know if you can believe or not, is that Coach Franklin was going to bring 3 or 4 assistants with him to the press conference tomorrow. Maybe not assistants, but staff people. But we don't know if that's true or not. They may be in the background of the press conference. They may be there listening. Who knows? But I'm sure he's got to have people right now ready to go with ops and get that recruiting thing going and all those sorts of things. Yes.
Yeah, I would think that, he's had the same GM that's followed him along the way. I think that would be a great first guy to see and announce there too, right? He knows me better than anybody. I've trusted him at Vanderbilt. I've trusted him in Happy Valley. He's coming with me. I mean, people are going to have a lot of questions about the GM. That seems like a natural fit too, right there immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be, you're going to surround yourself with people that you're comfortable with, obviously. And, we'll see how that works out. I mean, guys are a lot different. Some guys are different. Like Buzz Williams came in and he just kind of brought everybody he wanted and his whole staff, and his people that he was familiar with, and everybody else was on the out looking in. And, I don't know what the case will be for James Franklin in terms of some of the guys that played here that are coaching now, the Beamer guys. I don't know how that will work out.
Yeah.
He'll have to get a feel for that, and we'll see. I mean, he's certainly got a lot of contacts from all the stops he's made and all the years that he's been coaching.
Mike Burnop joining us on the program. Thanks to Louise Baker, the Louise Baker Team Long and Foster Realtors. Well, I know Tech and Penn State haven't played. You follow them, though. What kind of team do you remember watching from James Franklin over the years? Offensively, we know he's a defensive-minded guy, and they've had good defenses. But what kind of a program offensively do you expect to see out of him?
I think you'll see something that's balanced. He's had some great offenses through the years, and I think that'll be the case again. I think there'll be multiple. They want to be able to run the football, but they got to know you got to be balanced nowadays. You got to spread the field and get the ball to your playmakers. And he's known for his defense. I think that certainly be a strong suit. But I think offensively he'll be a guy that's going to spread the field out and make you defend it sideline to sideline and look for the great matchups. So he's a great mind. He's had good coordinators, and I'm sure he'll be right on top of all that.
And he's recruited in, tight ends. He's had some really good tight ends. You're going to see that become a staple again in this offense, just like it was under Coach Beamer.
Yeah, tight ends and linebackers, man. That's what Penn State was kind of known for, their linebacker play and their defense play. I think that will continue for sure. And, he's had some great quarterbacks too, that guys that maybe flew a little bit under the radar, but they were winners. And that's the kind of guys that he's going to get.
Well, we'll see how all that goes tomorrow. And, looking on the field, got to get your take. It was a strange vibe watching Florida State, especially in the second half. That game just seemed to have no emotion, no flow to. What were your thoughts on the Hokies in Tallahassee? They had some opportunities early to score, and it just never seemed to come together for them.
Well, it was a weird game because both teams only had 8 possessions. That's almost unheard of in college football now. I mean, usually you'll get 13, 14, 15 possessions. But, the pace of the game, the way the Hokies are running ball, at one point they ran the ball 16 straight times. And so, the clock's going to turn away. And they had success running the ball, which was good. And they wanted to be a little more balanced. I think it was the third play of the game. The Hokies were moving the ball pretty well. And, Kyron took a chance, threw the ball down by the end zone, and our receiver, Aiden Green, slipped. The players were complaining about the turf all night. Both teams were slipping. I mean, he said the field was really soft and slick. They changed shoes several times. But Aiden fell down. The guy had an easy interception. They didn't score, I think, off of that one. But then they got on a roll and just scored on every possession after that. Florida State did. And, you just couldn't get any flow for some reason in the second half. And they were just fighting an uphill battle. The running game was there. Drones got a little more comfortable in the second half, but still, throwing for 125 yards or whatever it was, that's not quite enough. And, it's good to see him run the ball. I think Hawkins had a great game, over 100 yards rushing. Kyron ran the ball well, but just couldn't make enough big plays down the field and couldn't stop the explosive plays. It seemed like both teams were really good on third downs. I mean, Hokies were like 7 of 11 or something, or 8 of 12, and same thing with Florida State.
It
was just a game. It was just kind of weird. Everybody's moving the ball. Nobody punted, Rick. I mean, think about that. Neither team punted. That hadn't happened in college football in quite a while. And so it was a weird game. And a lot of people down there were talking, we know a lot of people down there at Florida State from the years. Yeah. And a lot of people are thinking that, hey, if Florida State had lost that game, they were going to fire Norville. And they were after Franklin too. So a lot of people are calling it the Franklin Bowl.
That's what, people were saying, hey, who's going to try not to win? So they have the best shot at getting James Franklin. Yeah.
Problem was, his buyout's like $58 million or something we hear too. So they spent all that money on renovating the stadium. They put these 8 luxury boxes in. They built that facility, the indoor facility, the football facility. And so, if they're going to come up with another 50-some million, that's hard to do.
Yeah. If they pull out the rest of the season, I bet you he stays. If they go 7-5, just like what Loxley, right, at Maryland, what they're decided, hey, you know what, maybe we shouldn't go. There's going to be a lot of programs that need coaches right now, so why don't we just kind of hang on to what we got for another year, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's going to be interesting to see what happens with Shane Beamer. That they had that lead at the half up there against Texas A&M, and the second half didn't go their way, and they ended up losing that game 31-30. That was a tough pill to swallow there. But again, what do they do in a situation like that? It's there's so many jobs out there, but there's only so many good coaches to fill them, and it's going to be interesting to see where those dominoes fall.
I know.
What's Lane Kiffin going to do? They gave him an ultimatum. You sign this contract within 2 weeks.
Yeah,
we need to do something.
Right.
You're either staying or you're going. You sign the extension. or get out. We got to get moving here.
There are people that think he's coached his last game at Ole Miss, that he's not going to respond to that, and he wants the LSU or Florida job. I don't know which one he wants the most, but Jimmy Sexton's going to make sure he gets in the one that he wants. But he's good. So I think he's done at Ole Miss. I really do. That's bizarre how that thing turned this way. I guess good for Mississippi. Once they found out he was flying his family to Gainesville and Baton Rouge, they were like, no, we're not playing that. You're going to make – yeah. So good for the school. Good for the school.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, this whole thing has gotten out of whack with the agent stuff, the money and the buyouts. It's made college football a mess, not to mention the NIL and all that. But, yeah, it's just totally a different game from when it was back in the day when Coach Beamer, Coach Bowden were coaching. And, you know, there may have been some stuff going on under the table, but not like today. That's just totally out of whack. No guardrails.
None.
Wild West.
None. Well, finally, Mike, Saturday, hey, we got a game at noon. And, hey, it's Miami. But it's just so under the radar right now with the hiring of James Franklin. But they come in. What do you think, man? Tech Miami at noon. You never usually see a game, you know, like that. And it's usually an afternoon game, a little later, or night game. But Canes are treading water a little bit right now. What kind of team do you expect to see in Blacksburg on Saturday?
That's going to be a little interesting because, you know, the Hokies, how do you get the Florida State game at night? You got a Miami game at noon.
I know.
You know, I think to me that they were protecting Miami a little bit. Seems like that they don't want them to come up here and play a night game when it's wild and crazy atmosphere. And, you know, they might get behind the 8 ball a little bit. So play this thing at noon. Hokies only had one noon game all year. And all of a sudden you're playing Miami. But daytime when it's going to be, you know, warmer and not as cold, and see them on national TV. So I think they might have protected Miami a little bit in that regard. I was surprised it was noon, especially after Florida State was at night. But, you know, I just hope that this team will rally, not quit. You know, I don't think they will. But, you know, it's tough when you've been playing for your interim coach. Montgomery's done a great job. And then now all of a sudden, you know, you got a new guy coming into town. Everybody's kind of on a slippery slope. They don't know what's going to happen. So many people are in limbo. And, you know, I hope they play hard and give them a shot. The game is sold out. I think they'll have a great atmosphere and great recruits. You know, Miami's good. They're going to have to play well. And they're going to have to be more balanced. You know, they got to be able to throw the ball. You know, that's 76 yards or whatever against Louisville and 125 against Florida State. They got to get the ball down the field a little bit more to be more balanced. You can't just sit there and run it all day. But the big thing is prevent the big plays and got to get some stops on defense. And so I think they got a shot to win this thing. You know, for Miami, it's all in their hands. You know, they're on the outside a little bit looking in.
Yep.
But they got to play the Hokies on the road in that pit. Neither one of them are going to be easy for them. So, you know, the ball's kind of in Georgia Tech and Virginia's hands, really.
Well, and you said it too, the recruits now, it's going to take on a little different meaning, isn't it, with that guy in the house on Saturday? Yeah, and the new coach in the house as well. Yeah.
You know, I go back and think about that Georgia Tech when, you know, that game against Wake Forest, they should have another loss already. And then the other day when they're playing Boston College, I don't know if you saw that game, but Billy O'Brien went berserk when Haynes King got up there and went crazy. He was like, looked like he was right over the line when he completed that pass on a third down play that, you know, they were trailing 2 scores in the fourth quarter in that game, I think. And that turned out to be a big play. And he went berserk on the sideline, got a penalty, threw his headset down, you know, and they don't review the play. And, you know, I think Georgia Tech's been a little bit fortunate.
Yeah, they
in
have.
the position that they're in. Not to mention UVA, with the way they've won the 3 games in overtime, you get a safety. I mean, they're playing good, don't get me wrong, but the ball's bounced their way. And sometimes these good teams, you got to be a little bit lucky, and they've had a great year.
Well, and I was talking about this earlier with chat. In the chat, people were – that's why this whole hiring of Franklin, he can come in and immediately turn Tech into an ACC contender. I mean, Miami is always going to be Miami, hyped up. Like you say, they get all this help from the league. Clemson's kind of – we don't know. Florida State might have a new coach. I mean, Louisville's lost 2 home games in a row, back-to-back. Carolina's not got any traction. Duke, Georgia Tech, as you mentioned. It's right there. You can make an impact in year one. Did anybody think Kurt Signetti was going to go to Indiana, which is a cesspool in the Big Ten, and have him in the playoff in year one and have them 11-0? No, I know it's a different scenario, but boy, it can happen in 1 year. It can.
It can happen, yeah. Especially if you have a great recruiting class and you get in that portal and get the guys that you need. to come in and fill in the spots. Yeah, I think that league is wide open, as we've talked about, and I think James Franklin will handle that extremely well, and I think he'll be a perfect fit, get the job done, and I know everybody's excited about it. They're going to try to get that season ticket number up, and it's going to be fun to watch. There's no question about it.
Oh, they will, and the donor money is going to come out. It's going to be this whole thing is going to have an immediate impact in a lot of different areas, in my opinion. I really think that's going to be the case. So.
Yeah, I think so too. That league is wide open, and certainly got a shot to get that thing done. And 2 more games to play. I hope they play well. And there's the bowl games situation is out for the Hokies, obviously, but they got a chance to be the spoiler, and we'll see what happens. They're going to get fired up for obviously both of these games, 2 big rivals. But they're both
absolutely.
Ranked. It's a great opportunity for them. That's what you want as a player.
Yeah, sure is. And some of these guys may be trying to audition, right, for the new coaching staff. You never know. You never know.
All of them are.
All of
coaches
them.
too. Coaches the same way.
100%.
Yeah,
So
absolutely are. And I hope Monty gets a great job somewhere. He's been fabulous to work with, and just so positive and upbeat, and keeping these guys in the train on the tracks. And I hope he gets a great job somewhere. But what he did for the Hokie Nation and this team this year, he needs to be applauded, because that was not easy.
Not a lot of guys could have gotten as much and had gotten enough juice out of the lemon as he has with what was presented to him. 100%. You're right. He'll get a job. So he'll be on a staff somewhere next year. There's no question.
And hopefully he'll get a head coaching job somewhere.
I would love that. Yeah.
Getting back in there. So should be fun to watch. It's going to be interesting, and it'll be a wild and crazy press conference. I remember when they hired Buzz, man, they did that thing up right, and Castle was packed, and they put on a show down there, and I'm sure that's what's going to happen tomorrow.
It will be. Well, Mike, listen, thank you so much, man, and thank you, Louise Baker, Louise Baker Team Long and Foster. And, man, I hope you're catching up on your rest. You got some hoops. You got a big game on Saturday. You got the presser tomorrow. You got a lot of stuff going on. So.
Yeah, and then we're going to be leaving Monday to go to the Bahamas for the basketball, and hopefully try to get back to Charlottesville Saturday.
You'll be back in the same scenario.
This is going to be a little bit worse traveling internationally. So, it's going to be fun to see.
What's the Bahamas game schedule? Is that 3 games out there or 2 games?
3 games, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You got to play Colorado State first. So then that determines what bracket you're in and when you're going to play Thursday and Friday. So the key is to win the game Wednesday against Colorado State, because then I think we can make the game Friday and get back Friday night, fly back up here Friday night to Richmond or D.C. and get to Charlottesville. I just hope that game's not at noon.
Oh, no. That's right. Yeah.
They put the 6-day hold on that one, too.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? They did, didn't they? Well, safe travels, my friend. Great stuff, and congratulations to you and everybody over there involved at Tech. That's a major win, and it's going to be the reverberations are going to be felt for quite a while with that announcement yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. By the way, real quick, did you see Chris Long? He played at UVA. His daddy, of course, is Howie Long.
Yeah,
he does a podcast. So yesterday he put this thing out there with I don't know who is the guy that was doing the podcast with him. The guy starts just like screaming. And Chris Long says, what? He says, Virginia Tech hired James Franklin. And Chris Long went, F me.
Still that UVA guy, right?
Yeah, that was kind of priceless. And the other guy said, man, you better win this year, because he's going to get all them recruits.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
That was funny.
He will. All right, Mike. Take care, brother. Good
all
to
right,
see
Rick,
you as
take
always.
care too. Good luck in hoops.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we're traveling down to Columbia tonight. See how it goes tonight. So
yeah, we go down there later on. So yeah,
that's what I thought. I thought you did. All right, brother. Take care, man. Good stuff.
All right, you too, Rick. See you.
Thanks to Mike Burnop. His appearance again made possible by Louise Baker, the Louise Baker Team Long and Foster Realtors, 540-320-0382. Good stuff today. Great chat as always. Be sure to hit Bob Christ up in the Ready Set Fund, bobchrist11@gmail.com. They send out text messages for you. A lot of the local high school teams have gone through them, and they raise money for their programs. It's outstanding. I mean, it really, really is outstanding. We want to thank Professional Door Incorporated, sponsor of our text line, of course, at 540-391-0788. Go give Travis Williams a call. Go see him if you're looking for employment. He wants to make a career out of your next job, and starting you out at $20 an hour, man. They want to train you too. National Bank member FDIC. Thank you to Larry Ramsey, the official banking partner of this program, and yours truly. Getting a lot of responses, Ryan Pry, the attorney on 701 West Main Street in Radford. We're asking for your BDST fan question of the week. Answer to Virginia Tech's record next year with James Franklin year one. And you look at the schedule and everything. Little River Heating and Air, Charles Lee, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. The best to take care of your air and heating units. That can be very costly if you don't. And if you need new ones, they'll make sure they keep the cost down as much as possible. We're presented every day here on BDST and YouTube by Pulaski County Sports Entertainment. Thanks to Jonathan Sweet, Tim Miller. Had a great time yesterday with Jonathan Sweet. That was so much fun. So much fun to have him on. Mark Hunley, McClellan Chiropractic, the sponsor of our text line. Great, great stuff. Thank you so much for that. Mark is the best, the absolute best. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studio here, 540-200-8294, familyfencingnrv.com. They will work through the wintertime for you. Thanks to all the folks at Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, James Lawson, 540-381-8011, and the NRV Super Bowl over in Christiansburg. 25 years they have been in business. It's outstanding. 540-382-5525. Don't forget to go by Harvey's GM in Radford and talk to Brad Harvey, George Jr., any of their fine sales associates. If you need a new car, used car, they will help you out. And you won't get a lot of sales pitches. They just like to talk to you as dudes. It's great. It's great. And thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf again for coming up with these awesome T-shirts that people seem to really be enjoying. If you want one, hit me up, DM me, Rick Watson or Big Dog Sports Talk on Facebook, or send me a message on the text line. $20. If I can get them to you locally, it's not a problem. We can meet up here, have all the shirts. Nobody's in danger of not getting one if you've already paid. And $28 if you want it shipped. And I think I can get a couple, 3 shirts in a package for the same cost. I'm not sure. It might be $1 or $2 more, but don't worry about that. I'll offset that. But let me know if you want a T-shirt. And good stuff here today. Thanks to Marva, Brian Seigla, David Smith, Mike Burnop. We'll see how tomorrow goes. I know we'll have Keon Brown, Damian Sordelette. See what else might develop on Wednesday. Try to see if Bill Ross is available tomorrow as well. But I'll be getting back late. late. So it'll be a little sleepy-eyed in the morning. But, hey, we'll be here to talk about it. Thank you, Tebow. Yeah, we'll see. Well, I'm not going to say it that way, Tebow. I know what you're saying. Good stuff. Get to see Jen tonight, too. I think Jen's going to be there. So that'll be good. That'll be good. Hey, congratulations again, Hokie Nation. Told you it was going to be the action day, and it all panned out. That's great. October 20th, stayed solid. Congratulations. Enjoy. You've earned it. You're terrific fans. Your support, we've talked about it through all these down years, it's amazing. And I'm so glad people can celebrate and revel and be happy. Congratulations to everybody over in Blacksburg. You got your guy. The committee did a great job. I know Bruce and Bud did a great job. With Babcock working on the side here to make sure everything got done with the negotiations. It doesn't matter the time frame now. The fact is that it happened. You got guy one and the most pivotal hire that you've had maybe ever to bring this program back right on the cusp too, which we didn't talk about much today, but we'll get more into, right on the cusp of this new alignment that's coming our way within the next 3 years. I think the timing is working out in a lot of different ways in Tech's favor. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, everybody. Tune us in tonight on the Radford Radio Network if you're bored. And check us out, Radford in South Carolina, 7 o'clock. It'll also be on the SEC Network, I believe. Take care, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much again for your contributions. Please go subscribe, like, and share our channel. Again, if one of you who are subscribed gets somebody that you know to do it, we'll be at 1,000, which is the next mega number to get us in good with YouTube. We're getting there. We're less than 300 away now. We keep climbing up very steadily. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, everybody.